Thanks for tuning in to this episode of the Gaming Stooges Talks podcast. We are the Gaming Stooges.
I'm Jack.
You can call me Cloud.
And I'm Landon.
We hope you enjoyed today's discussion, and if you do, please consider subscribing to our YouTube channel, following us on Twitch, or joining our Discord. Let's get on with the show.
Hiya, folks. Gee, you know who my top 3 favorite Gaming Stooges are? Sneezy,
I got it.
Cheese Whiz, and Al.
Damn.
It's the
Not Pixel?
You know, Pixel is special.
It's an honorable mention.
No, Pixel special. She gets the coveted 0 position
Oh, shit.
above.
She gets the gold position.
Anyway, we are here today to talk about our top 20 games of all time. About
2024 edition.
about 10
The
years
Ultimate
ago,
Redux.
we had a top games of all time list. It was only 10 games. And 10 years later, 2024, we decided we're going to do a revision for the list because it has been a really long time. I'm sure that our lists look quite a bit different than they did before. So we have 5 honorable mentions each. We did something kind of interesting. Landon actually came up with this idea. We didn't simply just go through and just come up with a list. We all had this sorter site that Landon linked us to. We put in every game we could possibly think of. And we had the sorter make us pick between 2 games at a time. And then it gave us back the lists. And I will say, I did mine a couple of times just to, double down and verify. So I'm happy with my list. But that sorter gave me some real tough decisions at times.
I agree. That shit is not fair.
It was very necessary.
What do you mean not fair?
I mean, I'm kidding.
It is the definition of fair.
It is. That's the joke, Landon.
Good,
Thank
fair
you.
sorting. But anyway, yeah.
Did you guys deviate from your sorter results at all, or did you stick with it?
I'm not a coward.
The only thing I did was I removed games that already had too many games represented on my list. That's it.
Oh, okay, because I changed.
That's sort of what I did.
That is all I did.
I did mine.
I
did
So before we go in, do we want to go over any stipulations, self-imposed restrictions that we have?
I have 1 game per franchise. Well, okay, technically not 1 game per franchise, 1 game per series. If there are multiple series within a franchise, I will have 1 game per series in that franchise. But otherwise, for example, there is only obviously I would only pick 1 Paper Mario game, but perhaps another Mario game might show up on my list. Who's to say? There will be.
Okay. I stuck to 2 per franchise just because, there was 25 entries in total, so I wasn't too miffed about having a couple series having a second entry. And even then, I only got a couple series a couple franchises that ended up getting a second entry between honorable mentions in the list proper. So, that's all I did. I also limited it to so I had been bouncing back and forth, and I realized that before, when I was thinking about it, some games I was considering what was essentially a compilation of a couple of games, and then sometimes I was considering just the single game. I was like, nah. So I only have single game entries, but I might pick the remake, I might pick a remaster, I might pick the original depending on which version I like the most. But I'll get to those as I go along.
Landon?
I don't want to talk.
He doesn't.
Why not?
He's not going to reveal anything. He wants to stay silent and just let it go.
No. Okay. So what I did was kind of similar to Jack, where I have games where I have a franchise that might have multiple games, but I was more genre esque was like sort of where the cutoff point was. So like Mario RPGs, there's only going to be one Mario RPG, so that encompasses Paper Mario, Super Mario RPG, and all of the Mario and Luigi games. It was sort of like that basket that I put it in when I started cutting out games. What I did for my list was I took 100 games and ran through the sorter, even with multiples in like a franchise. So when I was like building my original list,
I did that as well.
I just had a bunch of shit.
Yeah, I did that too.
And then when I got to the point where, okay, I sorted it, put it all together, and then I wanted to put in what my list was, I started removing stuff that was extras.
Okay, excellent. So let's go ahead and just run through our honorable mentions real quick. Each of us have 5, I believe. So Jack, go ahead. Start us off.
You know, if you guys really want me to, I can just go with the raw sorter results and not go with my written list.
You do whatever you want.
Okay,
Whatever makes your heart
I'm
happy.
going to go with my written list just because when I used the sorter, I tried to do it quickly because I was at work and I didn't know how much time I would have. So, but then when I combed it over a little bit, I was like, okay, maybe this one deserves to be 1 or 2 spots higher. But anyway, I have 5 honorable mentions. Those 5 honorable mentions are, hold on. I only have 3 of these physically, but I'm gonna do the visual thing. We have Tony Hawk's Underground, Mega Man X, Rayman Legends, and the 2 that I don't own physically, Donkey Kong Country and Team Fortress 2.
Okay. My 5 honorable mentions, I didn't bring my physical copies or anything like that, because I like some are digital, some are physical. I just didn't want to bother. But mine are Persona 5, Sonic Mania, Bravely Default, Grandia 2, and Kirby and the Forgotten Land.
He hates Kirby now, folks.
So Kirby and the Forgotten Land was an interesting, because I will mention there is no Kirby games on the list proper. I looked at it long. I thought about it long and hard. I think Kirby and the Forgotten Land is my new favorite Kirby game. I really do.
Yep.
So.
Like I said, he hates Kirby now, folks. So, if you want to take one thing away from this podcast episode,
sure.
Cloud hates Kirby.
Yep.
Sure.
We all hate Kirby, as a matter of fact.
Landon, give us your
I wouldn't
5
say that.
mentions.
I would say, you would make me talk, wouldn't you?
Yeah.
My 5 honorable mentions are Dragon Quest XI S, Echoes of an Elusive Age, 7th Dragon 3 Code VFD, Captain Toad's Treasure Tracker, Shantae and the Pirate's Curse, Sly 2 Band of Thieves.
See, Landon, this is your own fault for having games on your list with such long names.
Well, it only gets worse the more we talk, so I can't wait.
Hey guys, remember that running gag in all of our previous list videos where Landon will say a game and then my next game will be a game that Landon just mentioned?
Is your number 20 one of his honorable mentions?
Shantae.
Number 20 is Shantae and the Pirate's Curse, baby.
God damn.
Look at that.
All right,
I'm so good at this video game.
We are jumping right into our top 20s, and in typical Gaming Stooges fashion, here we go.
It's always like this. The amount of times where Landon will be like, because like we always go in the same order. I go first, Landon goes last. And whenever Landon will be like, all right, my number 7 is this game. And I'm like, fuck, my number 6 is this game. And then I have to immediately follow it, except Landon didn't really talk about it. It's just...
Yeah, talk about Shantae
I'm here to talk about Shantae and the Pirate's Curse.
Why should I like this game?
Why should you like this game? As far as I know, you already have a likeness for this game. No? Okay. Well, Shantae and the Pirate's Curse is my favorite Shantae game, which is evident of it being on my list.
Wow.
It's one of my, I kind of hesitate to call it a Metroidvania because the Metroidvania elements to it are kind of light compared to a typical Metroidvania. Landon, what would you say?
I mean, I would still probably call it a Metroidvania Light. It's definitely just a 2D platformer.
Yeah, I mean, it's a fucking good 2D platformer.
Yeah, you can just say that, and then you can get into the semantics later.
Yeah. It has a really fun, like, gameplay loop. You go to a world, explore it to as much as you can. You go to a different world and, you know, get some power-ups and go back to previous worlds and explore those more. Great pixel art, great characters. The writing is really funny. The story is... it's fun. It's nothing, like, crazy, but it's fun. The music... Did I say that already? The music is incredible. I've played through this game probably 4, 5, or 6 times at least. Landon LP'd it back in the day. Probably need to redux it at some point, because at this point, that LP is quite old.
It's perfect. I don't know what you're talking about. There was no flaws with that video series.
It does make me... I do feel slightly old thinking about how this game, not this Switch version of the game, but the original 3DS digital release came out the same year that we did our previous top games of all time list in 2014. Yeah, that's really all I have to say. I love it. Great game.
My number 20 is Disgaea Hour of Darkness, which was originally released back on the PS2. It's a strategy RPG. Has seen some re-releases since, but I played the PS2 original, so that is what I went with. It is, spoiler alert, not the only strategy RPG on this list. Oh, surprise, surprise. But I really like Disgaea Hour of Darkness. Things that I really like about it, the characters are just a lot of fun. Like Laharl, Etna, Flan, they're just an unforgettable trio. Just like really, really fun. I enjoy making my own generic units in that game. The classes and the class system is a lot of fun to tinker around with. Find classes that best suit your play style and like get your characters to be how you want them to be. I am just a sucker for that kind of party customization in RPGs, be they strategy, turn-based, what have you. That's why stuff like Grandia 2 and Bravely Default were honorable mentions of mine. I also like the story. It's nothing super serious. It's just like Laharl's journey to like take over for his dad as like the ruler of the underworld. And then they decide they're going to go up because there's like, because they find out through like Flan, who is not a demon or not an underworld dweller, that like there's shit going on up in heaven with like gods and angels and stuff. So they decide they're going to go upstairs and kick God's ass. And yeah, it's just a fun time. I cried when Flan sacrificed herself and turned into a flower and died for 2 seconds. So that was fun. Yeah, just fun times, good story. It's one of those RPGs where like if you really like grinding, you will grind in this game. This game gives you all the tools to make characters as broken as you want them to. It's one of those games where there's a massive post game if you want to tackle that. I haven't touched all of it, but like I've scraped the surface and there's a lot there. So yeah, I mean, it's just a fun time. It is the only Disgaea game that came even close to my list because I've only played 2 of them, and the second one didn't leave that much of an impression on me because the characters aren't nearly as good. So yeah.
My number 20 is Persona 5.
Yay!
Wow! Yay!
Persona 5 was the game that did everything first. Everything else is based off this video game.
Yeah,
it's true.
It's true. It really is.
Ask the internet, please. Persona 5 has characters like Ryuji and Morgana and someone else. Jack Frost.
Yeah. Hee-ho.
Insert third character here. Wow, and that combat is so great. I love it. I love interacting with the characters and the combat in this very stylish RPG.
Are you going to just...
Are you reading like a GameSpot review or something?
No, I knew that he just came up with this, but I'm like, are you just going to speak like this for every entry for the rest of the podcast?
Yes.
Oh God. This is gonna be
This is
Yes.
my list. This is my list voice. This is how I sound
all right.
when I'm excited to talk about video games.
Lennon is bringing his A game for the top 20 games of all time list.
Always here, baby. Let's go.
Did you have anything else you wanted to add about Persona 5?
The day we're recording this is Makoto's birthday.
Oh, yeah, I didn't realize that.
Cool.
Happy birthday, Makoto.
Yeah, Makoto. She's cool shit.
It's fun. I still have to play the Royal. So this is technically, when I say Persona 5, I mean
Yeah, that's
the base
what
version
I
of
meant
Persona
too.
5.
Persona 5.
I haven't played Royal
Yeah.
yet either.
Yeah, so there's that.
Okay, number 19s.
Cool. My number 19 is Mario and Luigi Bowser's Inside Story for the Nintendo DS, baby.
Wow, yay!
Yay! Good answer, Steve.
Golf clap.
Classic DS game. Mario and Luigi, great franchise. The switching between Mario and Luigi and in these like turn-based combat, but with like these crazy moves that you try and pull off in tandem. It's here in full force. But also, you can play as this guy. You can play as fucking Bowser. Did you know that in Bowser's Inside Story that you can play as Bowser? But no, I think like the way that this game presents itself is very cool. Like Mario and Luigi are inside Bowser, and like their sections are like 2D side scrollers, and you have to like solve puzzles like inside his innards and his guts. And then in like the overworld, you control Bowser, and sometimes you go back into the overworld as Mario and Luigi. But for the most part, you are inside Bowser. But like playing as Bowser is very fun. He utilizes a lot of his minions and shit like that, and then you get to the parts where you have to like turn your DS sideways and you have to do these like crazy. He goes big mode, and you do those crazy boss fights with the touchscreen. Fuck, dude, the characters are great, the writing is great, music is great. I feel like I'm repeating myself already, and we're on entry number 2 out of 20, which is great.
I mean, that's what happens sometimes, right?
I mean, you know what? This is great.
I would hope that these are all qualities that all of these games hold, considering they are in my top 20 of all time. Yeah, classic.
All right. My number 19 is Spyro Year of the Dragon. If I had to pick one of the versions, I guess the Reignited Trilogy's version because it looks better, but it really doesn't matter. They're both the same, just one of them looks nicer. Either way, I love Spyro Year of the Dragon. I am a huge fan of the Spyro trilogy, and Year of the Dragon is just my favorite one. I like the structure of the game overall. I like the fact that you have the game broken up into being able to play as different characters. The hub worlds are a lot of fun. I like how there's just a nice variety of levels across 4 different worlds. I think that they just kind of took the formula that they had started developing specifically with Spyro 2 in particular and really just fleshed it out and just made it even better. And I just like collecting the dragon eggs and the gems in that game. The level design is just really good. The music is fantastic. Man, Stuart Copeland is, God, so good. Like, he did such a good job on the music for all 3 games. But there's a lot of really good stuff in Spyro 3 especially, because he was like really diversifying like the instrumentation, so like he knocked it out of the park. Just good stuff. I like the sorceress, and her as an antagonist just makes a really fun goal to reach for the final boss, and the other bosses are fine. Overall story's good. Chester Cheetah is
I
know that character.
Chester Cheetah is
baby.
the man. Yeah.
Just watch the Great Ace Attorney VODs.
And maybe the Spyro Reignited Trilogy Let's Play.
No, don't watch the
Just the Great Ace Attorney
just the
VODs.
Great Ace Attorney VODs, sure. But yeah, Spyro Year of the Dragon. It's fantastic 3D platformer for the PS1, and now your PS4 and Switch and Xbox as well.
My number 19 is Xenoblade Chronicles Definitive Edition for the Nintendo Switch family system of video games.
You're really doing
Good
this.
answer, Steve. He's committed.
Xenoblade Chronicles Definitive Edition features such great characters as Shulk, Riku,
Hey, Landon.
and
Can I make a slight request?
yeah.
Can you be just a smidge less robotic, please?
No, I can be more robotic.
Can you please be a
fuck.
little more excited for her? Just a little bit.
Pixel says no, so
Wow.
I'm here. I'll be more excited, and by that I mean I'll inflect my voice up slightly. My number 19 is Xenoblade Chronicles Definitive Edition for the Nintendo Switch family of system video games. Does that work for you?
it's doing something for me.
Oh. Anyway, I like Xenoblade. I like Xenoblade Chronicles 1. It's real good. I also like number 2. X was good too. Still have to play number 3. I like Xenoblade. It has fun combat and a good story and bitchin' music.
Hell yeah.
What do I have to say more?
Really nothing.
I don't
That's all
think
you
so. Jack,
Yeah.
we're still waiting on your Let's Play of Xenoblade Chronicles.
Let's play.
Yeah, you said you'd Let's Play it.
I said I would Let's Play a lot of things.
Mhm.
That was
We're still
before we
waiting.
decided we would quit Let's Plays at one point.
Yeah, well, here we are, still waiting for it.
God damn it. All right. Anyway, my number 18 is Animal Crossing New Leaf for the Nintendo 3DS. Yay.
Golf clap.
All right. For the record, on the sorter, I'm pretty sure this landed like one spot above New Horizons. Actually, New Horizons is a fair bit lower. Never mind.
Oh.
I'm thinking of a different game. Where the hell is New Horizons on this list? Anyway, this is the one that I went with. Just because I put more time into it. New Horizons is also like as good, if not better than this one, but I just at a certain point, New Horizons just kind of like I ran out of stuff to do and I just kind of dropped it. Where this one, I played it like every day for years. I have several hundred hours of gameplay in this one specifically. You know, it's Animal Crossing. This is the first one where you were the mayor of your own town, so you can like say where shit have a say in where shit goes, and you can move people around and shit like that. Actually, no, I don't. Yeah, no, you could move people around in this game. This just feels like all of the best elements of the first 3 Animal Crossing games put into one package, and it's extremely fun, it's replayable, it's relaxing, you do your chores, you talk to your neighbors, you water your plants.
You're making this
It's fun.
sound really not interesting.
Well, yeah, but if you know...
I know
if
what
you
you're talking
know-
about. That's how Animal Crossing is.
It's how Animal Crossing is. It's like a fun mundane. It's a fun-dane. You're doing mundane tasks, but it's fun. There you go.
That's a good way to put it.
Have you ever wanted to live life?
No. That's why I do it in Animal Crossing.
That's why you buy a copy of Animal Crossing so you can
Exactly.
actually experience it.
All right. My number 18 is Ratchet and Clank Up Your Arsenal, originally released for the PS2.
Good answer, Steve.
It is my favorite of the Ratchet series still. I really like the writing. Dr. Nefarious makes a great villain. The different planets that you travel to are all a lot of fun. I like traversing them, the enemy layouts, and just being able to just kind of venture around like so much. Like they'd already gotten that sort of thing down with like the first game, but I just think that they just started doing a better job each game, and really, really like they hit it out of the park with Up Your Arsenal. The weapon selection in the third game in particular is still my favorite in the series, just the variety of weapons, how they perform. I mean, one of the guns turns things into ducks that lay exploding eggs, and one of them, when you level it up all the way, turns into a flaming duck phoenix that like homes in on something and then explodes, and it's just amazing.
Hell
the
yeah.
Quacko Blitzer is like one of the greatest weapons in any video game I've ever played.
It's so fucking good. Rivals the chicken gun from Shadow the Hedgehog, I would say.
Yeah, it's great. But yeah, just the progression system in Up Your Arsenal. Being able to play as Captain Quark in these like Mega Man style levels as like a sub game attached on the side is a great time. Back when I played this on the PS2, like I did everything you could do in this game. Like it's so good. Like the action, the platforming, the side stuff you can do, there's like a stadium that's been in most Ratchet and Clank games, and the one in this game is still my favorite one. Just all around good time. Yeah. You slap it in your playing states too.
My number 18 is the last story for the Nintendo Wii family system of video games.
The last story beating out Xenoblade.
That's
just kidding. I already knew it would.
That's what I decided, I guess. I don't know. I'm just reading my script that Jack wrote up for me.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Don't tell anyone.
Oh, okay. Sorry. I take that back.
I didn't realize
Jack.
we had a ghostwriter in Gaming Stooges now.
Little do this is going to be like a whole Milli Vanilli situation where we find out that everyone's lines in Gaming Stooges were written by me.
The whole time. And
my lines were written by Trader.
Yeah. Anyway, the last story is fun. Jack, when are we streaming it?
One day, I hope. Which one of us is doing that one?
Probably me.
Yeah, probably you.
Yeah, because
I did. The last story was in my. It wasn't quite close to the top, but it was in my top 100.
What is the last
was
story
it in your
like?
Top 30. The last story is like if any Final Fantasy game was good.
Wow.
It's like, kind of like, I don't want to say action RPG. Would you say action RPG?
It's more action RPG than turn-based RPG. It's not really a turn-based RPG.
Yeah.
You have
5
area.
party members.
You have 5 party members. The other 4 are usually like on auto. They'll like do stuff automatically. You run out. You do attacks, but then there'll be like rings where it'll like if you're in that area and you do certain things, it'll do more or something.
Interesting. Okay.
Yeah. It's easier. It's one of those games where it's easier to like if you watch it or play it,
you would understand how it works pretty easily.
Yeah. But it's like it is made by whatever the nerd for Final Fantasy was.
Nobuo Uematsu.
Yeah, it's a Nobuo Uematsu game. So that when I say if it was a Final Fantasy but better, that's why.
Wait, Nobuo Uematsu, he's the composer. Do you mean?
Oh, yeah,
he also worked on it.
He did the music,
do you mean
but
Hironobu
I said the
probably I don't know.
yes, I said the wrong name, but I was right in that Nobuo Uematsu did do the music for the game.
That is really cool. Now I have to look into it.
It needs a fucking remake, like just to have it on a modern system.
Out of all the games we're going to be talking about today, it is definitely probably the game that needs the most. I don't care.
Yeah.
I don't care what your personal opinions are about any of your other games.
Wow.
Those all suck. Number 18 on Landon's list is the peak of the whole podcast, folks. Move on.
This is just like our top 90s games podcast where Landon was like, all right, my number 10 is the only good game. Everything else before and after sucks.
Sucks.
All right.
That's exactly what's happening.
Let's come back around for number 17s.
All right. I'm going to talk about a genre of game that I don't really talk about too much. First-person shooters. Except this is kind of a bad one. Mine is Super Smash Bros. Brawl.
Oh. Running joke here at Gaming Stooges.
Yeah.
Landon calls the Smash Brothers series a bad FPS.
Because it is a bad first-person shooter.
It's like
not a first-person shooter at all.
Yeah.
I am one of Brawl's biggest defenders. I love this game. I recognize that from a pure gameplay perspective, it's not as fast-paced or as exciting to watch as Melee, but
Who gives a shit?
who gives a shit? This game is fun as fuck. There is so much goddamn
I
content
was gonna say
in
the
this
content's
game.
just better. Like, I'm
The
sorry.
content in this has the, like, if you exclude like number of characters, this has probably the most content in any Smash game. Like, you have classic mode, you have adventure mode, you have the subspace emissary, the only Smash Brothers game to have like its own story with cutscenes, which was badass. You have this like entire story where like all of these characters are actually like working with each other. There's no dialogue, which is actually, I would say, a good thing. It gives the cutscenes more charm. The stages in this game are incredible. The selection of characters for the time was like insane. Like 35?
And
35
and I
characters
mean,
total?
they decloned a lot of the stuff from Melee, so like most of the characters are pretty
Yeah.
unique in some way.
Yeah, for sure.
They
You have
added
fucking
Sonic the
you have
Hedgehog.
fucking Sonic the Hedgehog and Solid Snake in this game. And like, this was like, I played this game literally every weekend for probably 2 years. Like, if it was a Saturday night and I didn't have like, I wasn't doing anything, I'm just like, all right, booting up Brawl. Whether it was to just like hunt for the events, or not hunt the events,
Cleared like
Tro-
challenges.
clear challenges, clear events, trophies, collecting trophies. There's so much to do in this game. You have the fucking like demos for virtual console games, because that was like a new thing at the time, which is sick. It has online, but it's dog shit, so don't play it.
I mean, not like you can without like
No,
doing
no.
certain things with the system now.
I'm sure private servers
Yeah, oh, yeah.
would actually run better
Yeah.
than the public servers
Oh,
from
yeah.
back in the day.
For sure. But like, God, what a great game. I love Brawl. That's all I got to say.
My number 17. So the last two entries, I talked about the third entry of a 3D platformer series on the PlayStation.
Crash 3.
No. Crash Bandicoot's not on my list. My number
Sly 3.
My number 17 is Ape Escape 3. The game with the monkeys in it.
Monkey.
Ape Escape 3 is the third of the Ape Escape trilogy, and god damn it, we never got a true Ape Escape 4, and I'm still personally offended by Sony for doing this. No, but like, Ape Escape 3 is really great time. There's almost 450 monkeys to catch in this game across a wide variety of levels. The second game didn't really have this, but the first game had this like theme around the levels where you were going to different time periods. Well, Ape Escape 3 has a theming to it, but instead of them being time periods, you're going to like different settings, and the settings are actually like the production stages for like different TV shows. Like, you're going to different TV channels and different like production sets. It's really cool. And you start playing it. The cool part about it, so like, you've got the core Ape Escape gameplay, except they added the ability to like transform into certain characters styles. So like, you can turn into a knight, you can transform into a cowboy, you can transform into like a Power Ranger or Super Sentai style ripoff. You can turn into, I think, a ninja. You can turn into like a couple other things. And then when you get to the post game, after you beat the final boss, and I say this in quotes because they're not the actual true final boss, but they're the final boss before the credits, you unlock the ability to turn into the same. You have your character, but they have a monkey costume. And then when you go through the levels again, you can go to the backstage areas, and like, there's a bunch of monkeys waiting and chilling out in the break rooms. It's the best thing ever. Like, I love this game, the way that they like really took an idea and just ran with it And the gameplay of Ape Escape, I've streamed the first game so far. I'll eventually get to the other two. It's just really solid, just having all these gadgets and all these abilities to traverse levels and catch the monkeys and the different behaviors those monkeys can do. It's such a fun time, and Ape Escape 3 really, like, as the third game of a 3D platformer trilogy on the PlayStation, once again, it just does it the best out of the three. So, also the music's really good, because the person from the first game came back and did the music for the third game again, so that's 2 thumbs up for that. Yeah, Ape Escape 3. We need a re-release, damn it.
Hi, my name is Landon, and my number
Hi,
17 is Journey, the band.
Gross.
Don't stop believing, because anime is only real when you stop believing. So, big city lights, wheel in the sky.
Yeah.
I don't know.
So this is
Anyway, Journey for the
yeah.
whatever, by whatever that game company's name is. I don't know. There's no way to know.
There's no way to know.
Yeah, whatever that game company's name is.
Yep.
Anyway.
I wonder what that game company's name is.
Hey, did you know that most of a large percentage of the games on this list so far have been RPGs, and this is not an RPG?
Whoa.
That's weird. Anyway, Journey is a game that will make Cloud cry.
Is that the only note you had?
Is that it? Is that all you're going to say about it?
I don't know. It's fun. And it has good music.
It's a vibe.
It is a vibey game.
It's definitely... So it's not super long, but, you know...
It's like an hour long.
Hour and a half.
Hour and a half.
Yeah, if you sit down and do it all. But, I mean, there's shit you can get in it. Like, there's collectibles. If you play it online and you, like, run into someone, like, it definitely helps, I feel like, with, like, the storytelling.
Yeah.
Because it really affects everything that's going on with it.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just really well made, very well done in the visual department and the music department.
Doing playing through the whole story and sticking with, like, the same person through the whole thing, and then, like, after the credits you see, like, players you played with, and it's just, like, the one person. It's like, hell yeah, we went on that journey together. I don't even know who that person is.
But now you're friends for life.
Yep. It's just like an emotional bond that you didn't know you had.
Yeah.
And that's kind of beautiful.
And that's the story of GamingStooges. The bond we made in this journey. It's like the wheel in the sky. Keeps on turning.
It keeps on turning.
It's coming back around again, isn't it?
It is for the people.
This is for the people of the sun. Oh shit. Well, Brawl is going to sit there for the next 2 entries because I don't have physical copies for these 2 games. My number 16 is Jet Set Radio for the Sega Dreamcast family of systems.
Family of systems.
Yeah.
I don't know if you know this, Jack. The Dreamcast didn't do well enough to get a different model.
I know.
Yeah, but it has different. It has different color controllers.
Yeah, the Dreamcast family of controllers.
Sure.
And UMDs.
Sure.
Yeah.
There's a Godzilla UMD.
Sure.
That's funny. Yeah, Jet Set Radio is it's my favorite Dreamcast game, easily. I've talked about this game. I've Let's Played this game before. I don't own a physical copy because my first, like, actual exposure... Well, my first, like, full playthrough of this game was via the PS3 re-release, digital re-release of the game. And I loved it. I loved... Like, presentation-wise, I love everything about Jet Set Radio. Like, the characters, the locations, the music. The fucking music is so goddamn good. The gameplay is fun. You know, you traverse the different like parts of Tokyo, and you like spray paint, you fight rival gangs, you grind on rails, you slide on walls, you do tricks. It's really fun.
Would you say that Jet Set Radio is your favorite Tony Hawk's Pro Skater game?
You know, it outranks every Tony Hawk game, so I would say so.
There you go.
Damn.
As a matter of fact.
There you go.
But yeah, I adore this game. I could play it a million times. I won't, but I could. I need to redux this game for sure, because my Let's Play of this game is as old as the original version of this list. So, yeah, need to play that one again for the channel. One day.
Okay. My number 16 is Phantasy Star 4, The End of the Millennium. This is the most recent game I've played that's on my top 20. I talked about this on our Top Games of the 1990s podcast. It is a turn-based RPG that is the fourth in its franchise that allows you to play with up to 5 characters. It sounds a whole lot like a different franchise, doesn't it, when I put it that way? But
The last story.
But no, to add to something, go listen to our Top 90s Games podcast. That was a really good one. But to just kind of expand on what I was saying there, I really like the setting. It's a sci-fi RPG setting. It's got a couple different planets that are overworlds that you get to go to. The characters are great. Chaz is a pretty fun protagonist. Rika, Raja, Rune, these are all really great characters. I like the writing, the presentation of how they do the story with like these comic book style cutscenes, which is really interesting way to like present the different dialogue cutscenes in the game on a 16-bit game at the time. Pretty cool. Great music, really fun boss fights, good battle system overall. I definitely highly recommend this game for like old school kind of RPG players, because like it is a little weird, because like, you know, like that like RPG thing from like the 90s when like skills, you didn't really know what they did by the name that they had until you just like did it, and then you're like, okay, this skill does this thing. That's like the only like gripe I have about this game, is that like it's one of those games where like you just kind of have to use the skills, and then you're like, oh, now I know what these do. But it does have like a Persona style or Final Fantasy style like tiering system, so that like when you get like these little prefixes added on, oh, it's just a better version of that skill. So it's got that going on for it. I like that there's like ways to combine attacks. It's not as like utilized, I think, as like in, I mean, a game we'll probably all be talking about later in this podcast, I'm sure, but that we've talked about a million times. We'll get there. We'll get there. But it's just,
I don't know what it is.
I'll bring it up when we get there. But yeah, just it's a really good game. I think it's probably one of the best games on the Genesis, and it just kind of gets slept on because like the SNES had all the 16-bit RPGs. Well, it didn't have this one, and it's one of the best. So yeah.
Damn. Well, also featured on our podcast of the top games from the 1990s, that's right, it's everyone's favorite game for the Nintendo 3DS, Resident Evil Revelations.
I knew you were going to say a game that was not actually on that podcast. Just, I can read you like a book.
Well, then, read off what I'm thinking for
Resident Evil Revelations has such iconic characters as Leon S. Kennedy. And I actually don't know enough about Resident Evil, so I can't keep going with this.
Well, unfortunately, this one did not have iconic characters like Leon Scott Kennedy. But it does have iconic characters like Jill Valentine and Chris Redfield and Raymond.
Raymond?
I forget I forget his last name, but Raymond's in there.
Does everybody love him?
No.
Okay.
Not this one.
Not this.
Yeah. Anyway, Resident Evil Revelations was a video game that I felt really did the two sides of Resident Evil very well. It has the old school classic feel to it, where you have like your tank controls, lots of puzzles to solve, and some really hard boss fights. But then it also has, your more colorful humor action bits too. They kind of blended both of them. And there is the Pale Rider, which is a magum, I don't know. Magum. That has a barrel like this long. Probably longer. Probably like, I don't know. It's a huge barrel, and it's just fun to watch people.
Can you describe it a little bit for the
around.
Listeners? For the audio version?
Think like...
As long as your torso?
As long...
As a torso?
Go ahead.
Think when Joker pulled out his gigantic gun and shot the Batmobile at point-blank range.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's that long.
His giant 18-foot-long gun. No, it's like a really long barrel. It's like silly how long it is. Anyway, Resident Evil Revelations. I really enjoyed it. Side note, if I could give one game mode a spot on this list, instead of a full game, I would give it to Resident Evil 6 Mercenaries mode, because that is the best Resident Evil content ever.
Okay.
But not the rest of the package. Resident Evil Revelations is a better overall package.
That's fair.
Resident Evil Revelations, everyone.
Yeah.
Go buy it on your Nintendo Wii U system.
Yeah, that you definitely have.
I own it.
I'm not saying you. I'm saying the audience.
Well, they better if they're listening to us.
Yeah. They fucking better. I wasn't being sarcastic.
Jack,
Anyway.
what's your number 15?
Well, Landon, I'm going to tell you what my number 15 is. My number 15 is Banjo-Kazooie for the Nintendo 64. Classic video.
I thought it was going to be Golden Sun, the other part of your name.
Oh, yeah, that's where the other part of my name comes from. How did you know?
I just know you.
Yeah, true. Anyway, Banjo-Kazooie. One of the best 3D platformers I've ever played. Just collect-a-thon, bunch of different collectibles to find, really fun worlds to explore, really great music that accompanies these worlds, makes exploring them feel very like, it fits the mood when it needs to. It can be joyful, it can be dark, it can be atmospheric, it can be creepy. Like, it's all over the place.
When are you going to stream this game? You've talked so much about this game.
Okay, unironically, it is one of the games I was going to put on the Patreon poll for my next stream game.
Ooh.
So, potentially you, the patrons of GamingStooges, could vote for Banjo-Kazooie as my next stream game.
I could decide the fate of this world?
You could, as a matter of fact.
How much does that cost me a month?
That costs just $3 a month, the Silver Stooge tier.
Wow, that sounds like a great deal.
Patreon.com/GamingStooges, and you too can choose the content that you want to see.
I'm going right now to give more money.
Hell yeah.
You sound more excited about the Patreon than sharing your top games so far, to be honest.
Listen, we got to be excited for the ad read.
Yeah.
It's in our contract to ourselves. But yeah, I love Banjo-Kazooie. It's a super fun, just like chill kind of 3D platformer. It has like super fun characters. It has cool mini games. It controls surprisingly well for a Nintendo 64 game. Yeah, that's about all I got.
I do have one quick question.
Yes, what is your quick question, Landon?
If you could replace this game with Donkey Kong 64, would you?
Oh my fucking...
Yes or yes?
On the Patreon poll or on my list?
Yes.
No.
It's not an option.
No. Why not? I've never played Donkey Kong 64.
Oh,
I don't even have a means to play it.
Well, guess what? We're gonna find you a way.
Oh boy.
All right, Cloud.
This is your excuse for buying. This is your excuse to buying me a copy of Donkey Kong 64, so you can force me to 100% stream it.
God.
Yes.
I would cry.
My number 15 is The Legend of Zelda: Breath of the Wild, which was released for
That's a good
Wii
game.
U and Switch on the launch of the Switch. Oh, back in 2017 was 7 years ago. Whew. It's still my favorite Zelda game. There's hardly anything can match up to just the sense of wonder I had when you paraglide off the initial plateau for the first time and you just got this gigantic open world to explore. It's just like, I haven't played enough of it, of Tears of the Kingdom, but even if I did, it's like nothing can capture that moment. And Breath of the Wild just has a really great overworld to explore. The mechanics are solid. It's really fun both exploring and initiating combat, being able to make a bunch of different weird meals. You can make censored, really bad looking food if you're a really shit cook, which is great. Locate stuff, iconic stuff like locating the Master Sword in the Lost Woods is great. Finding the Hylian Shield in Hyrule Castle, which has been completely taken over by Ganon's. What they call the? I don't. What they call the the thing that they had in Breath of the Wild, not in the second game. I know in Tears of the Kingdom they called it the Gloom, but I don't remember if they called it like something similar. But anyway, whatever.
Malice? Is it Malice?
Yeah, I think it was something like that. Anyway,
it was just called Purple Stuff.
Yeah, it might not have even had a name
Yeah.
at the time.
The official term, I'm pretty sure, was just
Is purple stuff.
Purple Stuff.
Purple stuff.
Yeah.
But yeah, some people might criticize certain aspects of Breath of the Wild, but like I don't care. Like it is such a great time to just find things in this game. And it's not overwhelming. It's very, chill and until you run into like a guardian and then he just blows you up into a million pieces and it's great. You're just on fire and then it says game over. You died. Cool. Yeah.
Game over. Yeah.
No, but yeah, just fantastic game. Solid mechanics, solid atmosphere. Still my favorite Zelda game. Go slap it in your Wii U. Don't play the Switch version. Play it on the Wii U, because that's what people that listen to Gaming Stooges do. They play the Wii U.
I played it on the Wii U.
You did. But I'm telling the viewers, not you.
Oh.
I'm telling the viewers to go play it on their Wii U.
Whew. I thought I was going to have to stop doing this for a second and enjoy myself.
Damn!
Anyway, talking about enjoying myself, my number 15 is Fire Emblem Echoes Shadows of Valentia.
That's a good answer, Steve.
Featuring such awesome characters like Alm and Celica.
Yeah.
And
You're really going for it with this bit every entry.
I didn't give you a list of characters for the last story or journey.
True.
And you're the one who brought it back when we got to Resident Evil Revelations. So I thought
I guess it's partially my fault.
It's mostly your fault. Anyway, talking about Cloud's fault, Fire Emblem Echoes Shadows of Valentia for the Nintendo 3DS family of system video games. It's good.
Yeah.
It's what if they took an old Fire Emblem and actually made it good? Or
turns out it's pretty easy for them to do that.
I mean, I'm not saying the original Gaiden was bad. I'm just saying, what if when they brought it to modern consoles at the time, if they kept it good, Basically,
But made it better.
or made it better. Basically, I have problems with Fire Emblem Shadow Dragon. Maybe one day.
Yeah.
One day I'll make Jack play it for the channel. It'll be funny.
Hell no.
No, it'd be really funny.
No, it would be very funny, but not for me.
For me. Anyway.
Yeah.
The game we're talking about is Fire Emblem Echoes Shadows of Valentia. I really enjoy the story. I like Alm and Celica's, both of their storylines, because you do play as both of them. You split between
You switch back and
chapters.
forth.
Yeah.
It works good,
And then
though.
at a certain point, at a certain point, like, they come together, like, their stories, like, converge. They have a great cast of characters in both, but the one fatal flaw this video game has, it does not have a Wayne. That is, like, probably what's keeping it from top 10 status and only top 15 status. If this video game had a Wayne, it could probably make the run for top 5 easy. Oh well, too bad no other Fire Emblems are on my list, and Owain
That's
doesn't
unfortunate.
exist. Yeah,
Damn. Rip.
Damn. Owain left off the left off the top 25. Their top 20 with plus 5.
you know,
Whatever, I can't speak.
I did have Awakening and Three Houses. All three of those games were in my original. So this one plus those two were all in my original 100 pool. But this one ended up the highest.
Okay.
Wow.
So there you go. Out of all of the 3DS games, this is the one that did not have a Wayne, though. So it's weird.
Yeah, it's weird.
Anyway,
Anyway, number 13? 14.
14.
14. Okay,
18.
good.
Just pick another.
Just
Let's talk about 18.
Fuck
let's
it.
go back to number 18s. My number 18 is Ratchet and Clank Up Your Arsenal.
Hold on, let me... Alright, my number 14 is Kirby Superstar Ultra for
Ooh.
the Nintendo DS family of systems.
Ooh, someone likes Kirby. Confirmed.
I do like Kirby.
One Gaming Stooges likes Kirby.
It's true. Fun
know,
fact,
possible,
I had this, Planet Robobot and Forgotten Land on my top 100 sorter thing, and all three of them made the top 30.
Oh, wow.
Damn.
So, but this is still my favorite. This has been my favorite Kirby game for a very long time. Pretty much since I bought this originally back when it came out. It's just like the perfect classic Kirby experience for me. I don't know, just all the different game modes in here. Spring Breeze, Dynablade, you got Gourmet Race, you got Meta Nightmare, or whatever the fuck it was called. You got fucking Great Cave Offensive, which is, you know, it's still fun because it's Kirby, but
Is it?
I like it. I
Okay.
like it.
It's definitely a really good Smash Brothers stage.
Oh, God. And then Milky Way Wishes, and then Ultra adds even more game modes, including an entire fucking mode where you can play as Meta Knight and go through all of the Kirby levels from the base game, and it's badass. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, like, it's a classic. Great stages, great music. The sprite work is really well done. I love the partner system. Yeah. Kirby Superstar. Classic.
My number 14 is Nier Automata. Nier Automata was originally released for the PS4 back in the same amazing year of gaming that was 2017. I went back and forth over time between this and Breath of the Wild, but I mean, in recent years, I think the Nier Automata comes out on top for me just because the story is really great, with there being, like, you know, deserted planet Earth, like, long after humanity's extinction, and you're going there as androids that are trying to gather resources because supposedly humanity isn't extinct. plot twist, though, it's actually just completely gone and not somewhere on another planet needing resources to survive. No, that's actually not what's happening. But that's the thing, is like the plot is really deep. You're led to believe certain things, and then as the plot unravels, it just gets crazier and crazier and crazier. And I'm just a sucker for that kind of thing. The environments are just gorgeous. It's some of my favorite looking scenery in any PS4 game I played, to be honest. The action combat, Platinum Games made this game, so I think that basically says everything I need to say there with that. Like, it's Platinum Games action, so like very, crazy, frantic, really well executed, well presented, just a lot of options for evasive and offensive, just things you can do. This game has fishing in it, Landon, so it's a legit.
Oh, it is a video game.
It's a legitimate RPG because it has fishing. You can fish in this.
It's a real video game.
But yeah, the characters are great. Stuff that the only thing that like stops it from being higher is like it's got a similar problem to Bravely Default, where like there's a portion of the game that you're effectively just playing again, and that happens when you switch from 2B to 9S because you play as both of them, and at first you play basically like similar campaign but from each perspective, and 9S's is shorter, but you're still playing largely what his perspective was, with 2B at his side instead of him being at 2B's side, up until they do like the big like plot twists and junk like that. And then after that point in the game, ooh, shit gets crazy. The plot twists are really good. The course that the story takes, and because of that, the way that the environment is affected by this, because they do have some big changes in the main hub area, is pretty cool. Just fantastic soundtrack, very melancholic, very atmospheric, but it's got like these just nice vocal choirs that kind of like give you just the right feelings that you're supposed to feel when you go to different areas. Just an all-around solid game, just front to back. I like that there's different endings that you can access. Some of them are mandatory, but there's also a bunch of like optional ones. Like one of the endings you get by making your character self-destruct, because you can make your character blow up if you want, over at the special safe haven base that you usually access across the game. Yep, if you blow yourself up and blow that bunker up, you get an ending. That's cool.
It's pretty.
Oh yeah, it's absolutely. It's funny because like this game is very serious in tone, but this is also a Yoko Taro game, so like there's a bunch of silly shit you can do in it, and there's this weird dissonance that for some reason just really clicks for me. I like it. It's a lot of fun. Yeah, just great game all around though. I think like it's definitely the kind of game that like if you want a serious plot but you want to have like, all that extra side stuff that you can do, like quests and fishing and stuff, like it's a good time.
Hey, what if we took the last two games and put them together?
Now, when you say the last two games,
wait,
the last two that...
Do you mean Mayan Clouds
or your
games,
last two games?
Or your last two?
Yeah, that's right. It's Kirby Planet Robobot.
That's perfect. Okay, you know what?
Yeah, you know what?
That's good. That checks out.
Yeah. Literally.
That is 150% the exact same thing.
Yay!
Right.
Kirby Planet Robobot for the Nintendo DS family of video game systems.
The Nintendo DS family of video game systems, Landon?
Well, I shoved mine into a DS and broke both things, so...
Perfect.
Yeah. Anyway, Kirby Planet Robobot is so cool. You get to play as Kirby, and you get to do Kirby things like eat people, and spit stars at people, and throw a sword at people, and
get in the robot.
No! And you can get in the robot.
Yeah.
Yay!
Yeah.
fucking Kirby. Shut the fuck up.
Yeah.
Go play it.
Planet Robobot was like, I was kind of worried about that one before it came out because I was like, I don't know, what if the mech sections are like really clunky and I don't like playing them?
It turned out
It turned out the opposite to be the case because using the mech is so fucking fun.
It's so much better than the Hypernova and Triple Deluxe. Like,
it's because
100%.
Hypernova is like just like
a tacked on gimmick.
It's like a cutscene.
Yeah, you're just walking forward and just watching everything get sucked in. But like the mech is like gameplay. Like
it's actual gameplay.
Yeah, it's integrated.
Yeah. It really feels like you're controlling a mech version of Kirby.
Yeah. And I like that you can have different, like, Kirby and the mech can have different powers and that does stuff.
That's so sick.
It's like a callback to, like, the Dreamland, like, 3, where Kirby has a power and then has a friend.
Yeah.
And then the friend, like, grants you new abilities based off of whatever that power-up is. It's fun. So yeah, Kirby, Planet Robobot. See? It's true. Cloud hates Kirby.
I don't hate Kirby. I just happen to like more games than Kirby, and he just barely didn't make the list.
Hates Kirby.
There was an honorable mention. Come on.
I don't remember those.
It's literally my number 25. Come on.
Number 25.
I mean, if I was
top 20?
if I was numbering the honorable mentions, yes.
Oh, okay.
I will say, Planet Robobot was top 20 for me.
Oof.
On this order.
Yeah.
Got bumped down by Superstar Ultra though.
Damn.
Holding my number 13, and I realized that I don't know, either I haven't looked at the back of this box in a very long time, or I have never looked at the back of this box. But anyway, my number 13 is Mario Kart 8 Deluxe.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Good answer, Steve.
Wow. I'm the Mario Kart 8 Deluxe hater because I put it the lowest on my list.
Well, do we know it's going to be on anyone else's list?
Do we know it's...
Yes.
Right. I've already kind of spoiled it on, like, Discord before, like, it's been on my list before when, like, I was sharing mine. But is it on Landon's list? That's the question. That's the burning question.
I guarantee...
We don't know if it is.
I would bet money that it is.
How much money are you going to bet Cloud? I want to see a cash transaction between these two.
I have no cash.
Damn, sorry, Cloud. I was trying to get you some money.
Wait. I do have cash.
Nah.
I have 50 cents.
Nah, because later on in the list, Landon's going to be like, all right, Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, and I'm going to be like, fuck, I just lost 50 whole cents.
75
Damn
cents. I'm raising the stakes here.
Oh, no.
See, but
we have a dollar.
Oh,
we have
it's
a dollar in quarters.
It's a whole dollar.
3 whole digits. Never mind the decimal.
$1.25.
All right. Talk about Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, Jack.
$1.25.
Oh, yeah, I forgot.
And this button I found.
I forgot it was my turn. Hey, Mario Kart 8 Deluxe. What a video game, right?
It's definitely the video game of...
It's definitely the video game of all time. There's a shitload of content in this game. It feels like we've played this game so many times for the channel and just played it off camera so many times that talking about it just kind of feels like, yeah, duh, it's Mario Kart 8 Deluxe. Like, it has a shitload of characters. It has this vanilla game already has a shitload of tracks on it with 48, and then they literally doubled that in the past year. Because why not? Like, yeah, sure, we're just gonna give you way fucking more courses.
And also more characters.
And more characters than you ever would have thought possible.
They brought back Funky
Kart
Kong.
Game. They did bring back Funky Kong. Like, and I'm not trying to just say that like quantity outweighs quality here, because that's not the case, because the quality of this game is fantastic. Like, I'm not trying to say that it's just good because it has a bunch of stuff in it, but like, it's really good stuff. I mean, we still play Mario Kart every so often. Like, I'm never not in the mood to just like put this on and play this. Like,
you're kind of making me want to just stop the podcast right now and play some Mario Kart 8 Deluxe.
Honestly, yeah. All right, folks, we're gonna stop the podcast here. We got some Mario Kart to play.
Actually, we're gonna stop the podcast here because Jack has a video to fucking edit.
True.
Remember when we did that? I don't.
Yeah, I know. I need to get to it. I'm sorry.
Anyway, there's nothing in this cup.
Did you have anything else to say about Mario Kart 8 Deluxe?
Nah, that's it. It's Mario Kart 8 Deluxe.
My number 13 is Super Smash Bros. Ultimate, also a Nintendo Switch game where you can play with a bunch of your friends, but instead of racing each other, you can beat the shit out of each other. Super Smash Bros. Ultimate is, I mean, no surprise, my favorite Smash Bros. Game because it is it's the most fine-tuned in a way I like. I don't care for Melee's physics, and I mean, you know, Brawl's is whatever. Brawl might have the better single-player content overall, but I think Ultimate just has the best package overall. There's so many characters, and a lot of them are so fun to play as. Like, there's like 80-something characters, and I can probably say that maybe there's only enough on that I can count on one hand that I actively would not want to play as. Now, that said, I can't actually put this on my list anymore because Al is taunting me about the time that he kamikazed me as hero. So, never mind. Super Smash Bros. Ultimate, not on my list anymore.
What are you replacing it with? Euphoria the Saga?
Sure, why not? Never played it.
Yeah, Euphoria the Saga.
But no, Super Smash Bros. Ultimate, I think it has the best classic mode in the series, to be honest. Like, the fact that they're different per character, but it's still, like, linear and themed, so, like, each character has, like, you know, like, Mario fights certain characters, Donkey Kong has certain fights with certain characters, Sephiroth has certain fights. Like, they make them for the DLC characters as well. They have, like, a certain theme that they follow. The World of Light adventure mode, it's not the best out of the Smash Brothers series. I mean, Subspace Emissary is obviously the best one. But, I mean, World of Light's pretty fun because, like, there's just so much to play. And there's so many creative ideas that they use with the spirits and the spirit system, which replaces trophies. Yeah, it sucks that trophies themselves aren't there anymore. It was really cool looking at, like, 3D models. But at least with the spirits, you have something that, like, from a gameplay standpoint, you can, like, level up and you can get rewarded for using, and basically you can collect them and use them as opposed to trophies where it was just collecting just to view them. But, I mean, you know, give and take. And then just all the different modes that you can play in the actual, like, Smash mode to, like, fight against each other is great. They incorporate, like, an Iron Man style one where you can, like, eliminate characters as you go. So that's cool. They have, like, a team strike sort of mode. So they added a bunch of stuff that just wasn't a thing in previous Smash Brothers games. And because of this game, Super Smash Bros. 4 basically doesn't even need to exist anymore. So that's cool.
It really doesn't.
So yeah, Super Smash Bros. Ultimate. It is, yeah, just really, really, really good game. Still go back to it every now and again and play a few matches.
Landon.
Hi, Landon.
Hi, my number is...
Your number...
You don't sound
it's so fun.
You don't sound excited for this one.
Yeah, because it's so long to say.
Say
many
it.
words.
Say it.
Say all the words.
Say all the words.
All the
all
words.
Right. My number 13 is Phoenix Wright Ace Attorney Trials and Tribulations for the Nintendo whatever family of systems.
Good answer, Steve.
It's on a lot of the Nintendo whatever systems for the family of video games.
To be fair, yes, that is correct. It is on a bunch of them. So it really is for the Nintendo whatever.
DS, 3DS,
Switch,
Wii,
Xbox 360.
Xbox 360. All of the Nintendo family system of video gaming systems.
Dan, the Xbox 360 is the worst Nintendo system I've ever seen in my life.
I did not mean to say Xbox 360. I meant to say Xbox One, but the
Gee,
trilogy
that's too
is
bad.
on Xbox One and PS4.
Anyway, Trials and Tribulations has such iconic classic characters like and wow, there's some of my favorites.
You didn't even name
You
any.
didn't say any. Name one. Name one
Oh,
character.
you're a fan of Phoenix Wright Ace Attorney? Name 3 characters.
Phoenix Wright Ace.
That's only 3 characters.
That's all he asked me to name. Oh. Anyway. Fuck.
Pixel said you're the worst sometimes, but it's the best for the reactions.
It's true. That's what I'm here for. Because if I was serious, I'd be like them, and then it would all be serious. But then I'm me. And so
Landon, the
it's not all.
contrarian, has to be the opposite of whatever we are.
Yeah, I have to bring in a different energy. Anyway, I'll talk about this one really quick. Phoenix Wright Ace Attorney Trials and Tribulations has some of my favorite characters in the franchise. It has a really good prosecutor, and it has some of the best cases overall. It has that one case that those one people do the one thing.
Cool.
And
There's a bridge, I think.
I think there's a bridge. I think Larry Butts is also in this game.
Larry Butts is in this game.
I think he's in this game. That's pretty cool.
You know who's not in this game? Wendy Oldbag.
No, she is.
Is she? Which
She-
case?
she shows up in the credits, I thought.
Oh,
Does that
yeah,
count?
that's
Yeah.
right.
Yes, because she says, "I can't believe they forgot about me."
Oh,
Like they make it's like a joke
Oh.
that she didn't show up.
all right. You know that
I-
that counts for something.
I'm pretty sure she shows up in the credits for this one. Al, let me know if I'm wrong. I'm pretty sure she.
I'm fairly certain she
Yeah.
does.
Anyway, I was very close to. Oh, well, I had the Great Ace Attorney collection also on this. And because those, like, both of the Great Ace Attorney games are excellent. Like, all of I think every single case in both of those games is, like, top-notch.
Oh, yeah.
Like, those
So
games
good.
have some great-ass characters. But this one, it's so good.
It has the line where Marvin Grossberg says his hemorrhoids feel like they're doing the Harlem Shake.
It's so true.
And that's a real line of dialogue
It is.
in the game. And it's so funny.
So, like, it's like it's peak Ace Attorney. It's just what it is.
It really is.
It gets you right where it is. You know what helps? This game has Miles Edgeworth in it.
It's true. You play as Miles
You
Edgeworth.
get to play as Miles Edgeworth for a part of the game. It is
A part of the final case.
It is by far the best experience I've ever had in a video game.
The downside to playing as Miles Edgeworth is that you go up against Franziska von Karma.
And that is the worst part of this entire video game franchise. That one
It's the best
character.
and the worst.
No. What I'm saying is Franziska von Karman is the worst part of this video game franchise.
Von Karman.
Von Karman. And I'm including Spark Brushel.
Damn. That's scathing criticism.
Anyway,
Anything else you want to say?
it's fun.
Okay.
It features characters.
Let's go to the number 12s.
Good job. My number 12. Hey, remember how Landon's number 13 was Phoenix Wright Ace Attorney Trials and Tribulations?
No.
My number 12 is not
Oh.
that, actually. It's a different game. It's Resident Evil 4.
Yay!
Or in this case, 4 Resident Evil Wii Edition. Resident Evil, it's the classic. Resident Evil 4 specifically. I don't know why I didn't. Never mind. You play as Leon Scott Kennedy. You shoot a bunch of zombies, do potato sacks on his head with the chainsaw. There's fucking Salazar, who's a riot because he's so stupid and so funny. It's got Ashley. RE4 remake stream when? Good
Don't
question.
worry, Ashley. I'm coming for you.
Don't worry, Ashley. I'm coming for you. It's got the fucking the merchant. I don't know his name.
The merchant.
The what are you buying?
He's just.
Oh, that's where that comes
The
from?
merchant. Yeah.
Yeah,
It's Resident Evil 4.
It's this game. What are you buying?
What are you selling?
What are you selling?
I'll buy that at a high price, stranger.
It's a classic. There's so many fucking iconic moments in this game. You got the lake, you got the giant fucking robot, you got the part where you're trying to where you use the sniper to save Ashley from being abducted. There's the classic run from the boulder sequence, which is on the back of the box, where you gotta shake the Wii remote to run away from the boulder. Fun fact, every single in this version of the game, every single QuickTime event can be done just by shaking the Wii remote and pressing A and B at the same time. You can literally leave the room as long as you're doing this, and you will pass every cutscene QuickTime event. It's pretty funny. But no, I mean, like, it's just a really fun, like, action game. It has, like, the perfect blend of, like, kind of spooky atmosphere with extremely, like, campy and funny dialogue and characters. It's everything that I want from a horror, if you could call it that, game. Yeah. Classic.
Okay. My number 12 is Pokemon Black 2 and White 2. Pokemon Black 2 and White 2 were the sequels to Pokemon Black and White on the DS. They revisit the Unova region, but I think they do an even better job where they like flesh it out a bit more. There's more stuff to explore, which was already a fun region to explore. The gyms in this game are quite a lot of fun. You get to see what everybody's been up to in like the couple years after the original Black and White. So you get to meet up with Charon, Bianca, other characters over the course of the game. You get to meet back up with N, Getsis. There's new characters that are also really great, like Colress. I mentioned some of the new gym leaders. You got like Roxy and Marlin. Pretty good characters. I like the regional Unova decks. They expanded it. So originally in the first game, they had just all new Pokemon. And then in this game, they gave you an expanded decks to like 300-ish. So they basically doubled the size of the decks, and they have a bunch of really interesting options. Like you can get a Lucario super early. You can get... Guys, I used Magnezone.
No fucking way.
This is where that comes from. I used Magnezone.
Cloud used Magnezone?
I used Magnezone, guys.
Wow.
Wow.
That's crazy.
I know, right? But yeah, just really good selection of Pokemon, good selection of gyms, good progression through the region, a lot of fun stuff to explore, a lot of cool side stuff to do. You got the Pokemon World Tournament as a post-game thing that you get introduced to early and can go back to. And I mean, Pokemon World Tournament is great because you have access to all these old returning characters that are all just jumping in. You get to do like tournaments with them. Really cool stuff. And the post game also has like a bunch of different like characters that you can just rematch over and over. You can fight Cynthia. You can fight Colress. You can fight N, and he has like separate parties for every season. And they're all like weather-based teams, and it's kind of sick because like it's very much something like he would do. So yeah, it's just great. It capitalizes on a game that I thought was already good, and then just makes it better. The story is just slightly worse, I think, but I mean it's still fine. Yeah, just all around really good game. Some of the best games on the DS, in my opinion. Some of. We'll get to more later.
Those are good ones.
Speaking of the best game on the Nintendo DS, that's right.
We're not there yet.
You're going to talk about a game that's on a totally different system.
Oh. Let me edit my list real quick.
Ah! Got him.
That's right. It was Pikmin 4 all along.
Was it?
Damn.
Yeah. Pikmin 4.
All right.
You know,
You know what
actually,
they said
this doesn't surprise me.
You know what they said about the last 3 Pikmin games? Wow. And you know what they say about this one? Wow.
About this one, you mean?
For the,
Jack.
That I still need to play?
for the
Jack.
viewers, for the listeners, Jack is holding up a copy because he tends to forget that we have
I was.
listeners too.
Wow.
Hey now.
Hey now, you're an
Pikmin
all-star.
4. Pikmin 4 for the Nintendo DS. It is one of my favorite video games.
What a classic.
What a classic. It has such characters like Red Pikmin, Blue Pikmin, and Yellow Pikmin.
And maybe returning
Come on,
characters.
Landon, you don't
from
get to talk
previous
about
games.
Pikmin enough, and I've heard, and you talk like you hyped up Pikmin 4. Like, give it to us.
Pikmin franchise video game series is about Pikmin, which are small little plant creatures that you pick up and command them to do different tasks. And in Pikmin 4, there's 4 Pikmin.
You've killed him.
I tried.
He's dead.
Alright. Pikmin 4, the big thing about this one is you are trying to rescue people that got stranded on a planet, including the infamous Captain Omar. Omar. And Louis. Anyway, that's for later in the video game. The big thing about this one is instead of having multiple captains like in Pikmin 3 and trying to find fruit, you are trying to rescue people and you have a dog this time. And the dog
Classic
can do things.
dog.
Yeah, classic dog. The dog is so cute and I love it. And it adds a fun layer of strategy to the Pikmin franchise because you can have all your Pikmin ride on him, and then you can like transfer over water, which before you would have to like change out like your Pikmin to like specific tides that could only be around water, and like it can help out quite a bit. Also, my favorite feature of the entire video game is you can rewind time and go back. And so if you lose one single Pikmin, you can rewind to certain checkpoint parts of the day, and they give you the ability to save scum. I love it.
More games need to do that, honestly. Save scumming is good.
Yeah, fuck it. I was like, I'm not going to let a single Pikmin die, except for the glow Pikmin that don't count towards your counter. So this game has 2 modes. There's the normal exploration mode where you go and pick up treasures and like do shit with Pikmin and go into caves and do shit with Pikmin. And then there's nighttime mode where you do a tower defense and you like summon hordes of spirits that are Pikmin. I don't know. They're called glow Pikmin. And then you can basically have them kill souped up enemies that are trying to go after this goo that you need to rescue Pikmin, or people that have been leafified. They're not furries. They're plants now.
They've been florified.
Sure, whatever. Pikmin 4. Excellent video game.
You know what
Alright.
number I love?
4.
The number
11?
4, actually. My previous entry was Resident Evil 4. Landon's previous entry was Pikmin 4. And this time...
If you add up the 2 and the 2 from Pokemon Black 2 and White 2, you get 4.
True.
There we go.
True. My number 11 is Uncharted 4, A Thief's End. For the PlayStation 4 family of systems. For the PlayStation 4!
Whoa!
It all connects together. It's all about the 4. Nah, I thought about it, and yeah, this is my favorite Uncharted game. 2 is also phenomenal and ranked very highly on my list, but 4 just edged it out a little bit. I think it's speaking of the stream poll, or the poll for my next stream game, this is also on that, by the way. So I will talk more about that I will talk more about it in a potential future stream, but this game is fucking phenomenal in terms of just like being a playable action movie. It's extremely fun. The gun gameplay is super satisfying and really fluid. The platforming and wall climbing is better than it has been in any previous entry. You have a grappling hook now, so you can fucking swing from that shit and incorporate that into the platforming. The writing in this game is fucking phenomenal. Like, it's not just like a straight upgrade gameplay wise from the previous entries, but like the writing in this game is fucking phenomenal. There's some really good like I don't want to say like character introspection, but like the way that the characters are written in this game it's really engaging. And like Nathan Drake's like whole character arc over the course of this game is really, really fun to watch. And yeah, man, I don't know. This is a really fucking good game. Very close to being top 10. I'm looking forward to streaming it for you people.
Playing it again.
And playing it again. There we go. That's what I meant to say. This
game was on my list of potential games.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Just didn't quite make it.
Yeah, but
yeah.
Uncharted 4 is definitely like, I would say, very peak Naughty Dog like execution.
Oh yeah, like 100%.
Overall,
I would say this is probably definitely the best game they've ever made. Like, as much as I love Jak and Daxter and the other Uncharted games, like this is their best work in my opinion.
The Last of Us games I feel come close, but
yeah,
I do love the characters of Nathan and like his crew so much. Like,
yeah,
Uncharted 4 and then Lost Legacy are just fucking excellent.
Oh yeah, great games.
Yeah,
that's all I got.
Now we wait for Cloud.
My number 11, guys.
Is it a number 4?
No.
Damn.
It's Toho.
It's Toho.
Wow.
Toho 4?
Wow. No.
Toho 4?
I did talk about Toho 4 in a previous podcast in our top 90s ones. But no, my number 11 is Toho 6, Embodiment of Scarlet Devil. Because it is still my favorite Toho game. Because it still has the best characters. Including Cirno, the strongest. And Sakuya. And Hong Mei Ling. And I don't know, man. Like, I just love the characters in this game. The music is like probably not actually the best soundtrack in the series, but it's still pretty good. And it's just a lot of fun to use the different shot types and characters that you have access to, and just really fun simple stages with really iconic like bullet patterns. And it's simple, it's effective. God damn if I don't love it. I've talked enough about the game. I mean, it's a shoot 'em up. It's kind of simple, so like, yeah. Toho 6.
I have played this one. I've not beaten it because it's hard, but
it's a shoot 'em up.
When I was in high school, I literally had this game on a flash drive, and I would, along with a bunch of other emulators that I would like take into computer classes, and I would play this among other things.
I think it's funny that like 95% of the file size of a Toho game is just the music.
Just the music.
It's just the music file.
Yep.
It's so great. Yeah.
Wow.
Landon.
Wow. What a great entry from Cloud. Everyone give him a round of applause.
Yay. Good job, Cloud.
Wow. I don't even remember what game we talked about. But you know what? That's okay, because we're going to talk about another good video game now. That's
what
right.
Could it be?
It could only be one of 11 other games that are possible. In this entry, we're going to talk about Super Mario 3D World plus Bowser's Fury for the Nintendo Switch Family Console video game series. of systems.
Good job.
This game
You nailed
features
it.
such iconic characters like Cat Mario and Double Cherry Princess Peach and Captain Toad Treasure Tracker for the Nintendo Wii U.
In his series debut.
No.
Well, not in this particular version, but like... Oh, actually, no, that's not even true. He was in Mario Galaxy.
That's why I said
Never mind.
no. But his series
In his
playable
series.
debut.
There we go. That's what I meant.
Yes, that's true. Super Mario 3D World plus Bowser's Fury for the Nintendo Switch Family Video Game Console System generational system is just a fun video game. You get to go from point A to point B, where point B is a flagpole, and point A is the starting point. And
But Landon, what about in Bowser's Fury?
in Bowser's Fury, you get to go from point A all the way back to point A, just in a weird wiggly line.
It's true.
Yeah, because you end where you start, which is the beginning. I don't know.
Yeah.
In that
Man,
mode,
that's
you get to
deep.
you get to ride on Donkadingo.
Yonkadingo.
Well, this one, to be legally distinct, it is Donkadingo, because Yonkadingo is someone else's joke,
Fair enough.
and we're not just a donkey regurgitation channel anymore.
Yeah,
Anymore.
we've grown up, Jack.
Yeah,
Wow.
yeah, Jack.
What do you mean anymore? Were we ever that at a point in
Yes.
time?
Yeah,
Yes.
yes. We would just say donkey jokes.
Well, yeah.
Yeah, that's what we were.
Not all the time.
Most of the time, like 85% of the time.
Eh.
And to you too. Anyway, Super Mario Galaxy is one of Jack's favorite video games, but I don't care.
Okay.
Back to you.
All right.
Well, we did just finish off our 11 through 20s, so I think this would be a good break point. If you guys would like to get up while I tell everybody about our social medias that you can access, we've got a Patreon.
I'm gonna go ruin my
Patreon.com.
dinner.
Yeah. Patreon.com/GamingStooges. $3 a month, as Jack was alluding to earlier, gets you perks such as being able to vote in polls to help decide what content we do. Do you want to have a say in what you're going to see from us? Then patreon.com, $3 a month, will get you there. We also have a $6 tier where you get exclusive content, where there's new special videos that you can't see anywhere else. And we've got some really interesting stuff coming down the pipeline. I'm not going to spoil that yet, but we're doing another D&D style campaign, Pathfinder style campaign, but it's a little different. And Landon is hosting that, so that is going to be coming up. So if you're not subscribed to the $6 tier, now might be the time to jump in. Also, $6 tier gets you a special shout out every episode, and we have one $6 tier gold stooge that we've got to shout out every episode, and that is Pixel Vixen, who is actually right here in the live chat. If you are watching the video version of this when it goes out to YouTube, then you will see that in the chat now. So thank you again, Pixel, and of course, yes, you are currently the only gold stooge tier patron, but we do appreciate all of our patrons. It really means a lot being able to just have that safety net to be able to get this out to the RSS, so we can send it out to all of your favorite streaming platforms such as Spotify, Apple Music, Amazon Music, or Amazon Podcasts, whatever have you. Just all of those. I'm going to be trying to look into even more options, but of course those are the big ones, so you can go listen to them there if that suits your fancy. And we have a Twitch that you might be watching this live right now, and if not, if you're watching the VOD or listening in, maybe you should go over to twitch.tv/GamingStooges and give GamingStooges a follow. We recently passed the 50 follower threshold, which allows us to do some cool little perks. I mean, that was kind of a little ways back, but just as a reminder, we did do that. So We are currently streaming Ace Attorney, Apollo Justice. I don't know which game they're playing, to be honest. They're all kind of the same to me. Don't tell them I said this. But yeah, we've got Apollo Justice going on, so you can tune into that. They like to do wacky voiceovers for the characters, and it's a whole lot of fun. Landon is also doing Dragon Quest 2, so that's something that you can also look forward to. There's going to be quite a bit of plans in the future for streams as well. I mean, Jack has already alluded to the possibility of Uncharted 4 or Banjo-Kazooie. I currently have Grandia 2 on hold that I will get back to at some point in the near future, hoping kinda soon. Speaking of, we have a YouTube. If you aren't happen to be listening to it over there, youtube.com/GamingStooges, we typically export all of our stuff from Twitch, but eventually I'll be getting back to our Let's Play of Kingdom Hearts 2, so that will be fun when we get back to it. Yeah, I'm honestly just kind of trying to stall for time while Landon comes back, but you know, I mentioned the Patreon, I mentioned the YouTube, I mentioned the Spotify, I mentioned all that good stuff. So now that we've run through all that, we can probably jump back into our top 10s.
Did you spoil it?
I didn't spoil it.
Did you give them a little taste of what it is?
The only thing I said was that it is similar to D&D and Pathfinder stuff. I didn't say anything else.
Wow.
That's it.
So rude.
I mean, if you want to spoil it, you can. You're the host of this one. I'm not going to do it, though.
Well, all I'll say is get ready for May 1st at 12 a.m. Pacific time, because it'll be live.
Oh wow, you're putting it right up.
It's already, like, I already have it set. It's done.
Nice. Here you go.
Yeah, and I'll give you 2 letters, and you have to do it everything after that. It's just DG. Speaking of DG, we've got Tillamook ice cream in hand, and we've got a really fun flavor. They're doing their chocolate collection right now. I've got dark chocolate cookies and cream ice cream.
Hell yeah.
Let's open it up and find out.
That's not DG, that's DC.
I lied.
I will say, those are available in stores that I go to.
Mm-hmm.
I should buy one.
Mm-hmm. They have a German chocolate cake one. They have, I think this is my second of the chocolate collections I've featured on the podcast. It's good.
All right. If we're all ready, you want to jump into our number 10s, Jack?
In the top 10 of all time. Guess what? It's Ace Attorney.
Trials and Tribulations.
Phoenix Wright Ace Attorney Trials and Tribulations for the Nintendo DS family of systems, as well as Game Boy Advance and Wii and Switch, and a lot of other shit.
And Xbox 360, according to you?
Yeah, sure. Why not? This really is just peak Ace Attorney. You can kind of copy and paste what we talked about in Landon's spot here. This has an incredible cast of characters. It has a really great prosecutor. This guy, Godo. You get to play as Mia. What are you pointing at the ice cream for?
Oh, I thought we were doing a thing. You were pointing at Dodo. I was pointing at something in my hand.
Oh, okay. It's kind of unrelated to what I'm talking about, but thank you.
Continue.
Anyway, you get to play as Mia in the fucking past before she died. You get to play as Edgeworth for a point in the game.
In the past before he died?
True. And I don't know, man. It's like every Ace Attorney game I feel like has the case that is just kind of bad. Like every Ace Attorney game has at least one that's just like, this one's kind of a stinker. This one has no stinkers. I would say, like, even though cases 2 and 3
Scented.
even though cases 2 and 3 aren't really relevant to like the overarching plot of this game, I would still say they're like solid on their own. And Pixel Mia dying is not a spoiler. It happens like 30 minutes into the first game in the franchise, and she is a ghost for the rest of the series.
I would say I've only played a portion of Justice for All, and they dwell and they like go over from the very get-go the fact that Mia's dead.
Yeah, I mean, she's literally the victim in case 1-2, so there you go. I mean, I kid, I assume. But yeah, I mean, this one's a classic. I did also have the first game and the Great Ace Attorney Chronicles on my list as well. This one ended up just being the highest. But yeah, love this one. Classic.
My number 10 is also a DS game, but mine is The World Ends With You, not me.
Twewy.
Twewy.
It's Twewy.
The World Ends With You is the best sequel to Kingdom Hearts Chain of Memories ever made, because I learned recently that apparently it's made by the same people, and I did not know this. But yeah, The World Ends With You is a really cool action game for the DS where you have your character split across both the top and bottom screen. You primarily play on the bottom screen as Neku. That is the main character, and he has a different ally. There's 3 different weeks, quote-unquote, that the game takes place over, and you get a different ally for each of those. And they play a little bit differently, but overall the same, where you'll be able to use face buttons, directional buttons to do certain combos with them on the top screen, and then with Neku, you'll be able to use the stylus, and you'll be able to use different kinds of pins to customize what abilities you can do. There's pins that can just do like swiping slash-like attacks. There's pins that can like shoot streams of bullets towards your enemies. There's pins where you can like make walls of fire and just all sorts of really cool things. There's like a pin where like you can pick up like different like stuff like cars and like potted plants around the environment and just chuck them at enemies. There's just a lot of like really cool ideas like thrown in there. The plot is interesting. You basically died and you're in purgatory and you're supposed to be playing this game in order to like kind of like move on to like an afterlife. It's kind of weird. It's very interesting though how that all unfolds. There's quite a few iconic characters. I mean, you've got Neku, you got Shiki, you got fucking Sho Minamoto. That man is iconic. The music is phenomenal. Just absolute like banger after banger in this soundtrack. Just so much about the world that it takes place in is super stylish and really well executed, because you're in Shibuya. You can go to different districts and there's like different shopping areas where you can pick up like pins and you can like eat food that gives you like certain buffs. There's like different clothing brands, and like depending on the brands that you go with, you might have like special like bonus perks if like you have certain loadouts. So like they put a lot of thought into like having like a modernized setting for an RPG, and just mechanically just well executed across the board. Yeah, I mean, I've talked about The World Ends With You quite a bit, and Landon, you weren't here for me to make the joke. I'm sad. I was gonna tell you that it's the best sequel to Kingdom Hearts Chain of Memories.
Damn.
Apparently it was meant to be a Kingdom Hearts Chain of Memories sequel. And then we got that instead. Which I'm kind of glad, because I probably would not have wanted a Kingdom Hearts Chain of Memories 2.
Well, they kind of made it one anyway. Thanks, Kingdom Hearts 3.
Yeah. And I mean, Kingdom Hearts Dream Drop Distance literally just kind of boop, put them in, so.
Yeah.
But,
anyway, number 10s, hey? Wow.
Yeah, number 10s. We're in the top 10 now.
Yeah.
We've made so much progress, and yet no progress at all.
Well, anyway, Landon.
So anyway, That's why my number 10 is Pokemon Mystery Dungeon Explorers of Time, Darkness, Sky. For the Nintendo something systems of all of those video games. DS.
Hell yeah.
Have you ever played a game where you're on a grid and you have to move
On the grid?
on said grid?
I have.
Which one was it?
It was,
Oh,
shit, what
Fire
was-
Emblem Three Houses.
No, I was gonna say that one rhythm game that's on the Switch that I forgot the name of. Oh, Crypt of the Necrodancer.
Crypt of the... Good answer, Steve.
Bad answer, Bob.
Think Crypt of the Necrodancer, but instead of being timed...
You just aren't.
And you aren't. You
Yeah.
aren't timed.
There you go.
And you throw Pokemon into it instead of whatever. Have I explained the
Is
game
that
to
really?
you
Is that
well
really how?
enough?
Is that really how you're explaining Pokemon Mystery Dungeon?
I guess. I guess so. Anyway, Pokemon Mystery Dungeon. There's this really cool part of the game, and I think it's the main content where they give you a personality quiz and tell you what kind of Pokemon you are, and then you decide to choose a different Pokemon anyway because fuck that
Yep.
noise.
Yeah, it's like, oh, you're a Meowth, and they're like, no, fuck, I'm not.
No, I don't want to be. Thanks though. Try again. And then they have this whole bonus side content where you play as said Pokemon through a dungeon crawling RPG. And you make a friend, and then the God of Time is angry at you. And you cry and die. And then your partner cries, and then that's the end.
And you come back to life.
I don't
Cry
know
and
about
die.
that. I don't know about that, but I do know I died, and then I turned the game off. I didn't bother with the rest of the cutscene.
You cried, you died, and you cried.
Did you really never play more than that?
No, I played past that.
Okay.
I know
Okay.
you come back. It was the bit. Anyway, it's got such iconic characters like Bulbasaur,
And that's it.
and that's it.
That's all you need.
What about Wigglytuff?
Oh, Guildmaster Wigglytuff.
Yeah.
And Chat-
Master
Talk?
Wigglytuff is awesome.
Chill Master Wigglytuff. Yes. This game has excellent soundtrack. Excellent game design. I love the design of some of the whatevers. I don't know. The mysteries?
Dungeons.
No, the mysteries.
The mysteries.
And I've recently become acquainted with other members of this overall, like, franchise type. I much prefer this by quite a bit. Pokemon Mystery Dungeon Explorers of Time, Darkness, and Sky for the Nintendo DS. Buy it now.
When's the remake, Nintendo?
When
You
is
did
the-
it for Rescue Team.
Now, Landon,
What?
would you rather have a remake of The Last Story or of these games?
The last story.
Okay. Just making sure.
Yeah. I stand by the words I said earlier in the day.
But,
Okay.
Landon,
What?
hear me out.
Uh-huh.
The Last Story is on the Wii, which means you can still play with your arms crossed. You can't do that on the DS, which means you can't do that in Pokemon Mystery Dungeon. But imagine if they remade Explorers of Time, Darkness, and Sky on the Switch, and then you could play with your arms crossed.
Okay.
Imagine.
I am imagining, and I still want a port of The Last Story.
Damn, you were right. Okay. All right, let's move on to our number 9s.
All right. My number 9 is Paper
Number-
Mario:
Number
The
9.
Thousand-Year Door.
Oh, player's
So
choice.
more. Don't look at that. Don't.
Wait
don't
a
look at
minute.
He's not a real fan. He has a player's
Don't look at
choice
that.
version.
that. Shut up! Shut up, man!
I'm sure my copy is a
You're
player's
not.
choice.
You're
too.
not a real. You're not a real fan. You own a player choice version. You own a more affordable version of the game. How dare you?
You paid less money and were smart about your finances. How dare
Yeah,
you?
He was a child
what-
at the time. He was not smart about his finances.
I wasn't smart about shit, but yeah, I knew that this was cheap, and that's what's important. Paper Mario: The Thousand Year Door is a Paper Mario: The Thousand Year Door is a fucking classic. This game has like slowly but surely creeped its way into my top 10 games of all time over like the past decade.
You
I
excited
guess.
for the remake?
No.
Oh god, yes. No?
No.
Oh,
I was
right.
answering for Jack. See, I'm gonna edit it because now he said no.
At first, I was confused by Landon's rejection of your question, but then I remembered, oh right, this is Landon, and oh right, this is Paper Mario: The Thousand Year Door. I'm not surprised.
See, there's a lot of words that are being cut out right now, and it's just, are you excited for... No.
All right then, I guess that's all I need to say. Does that mean this entire segment is getting cut out? Do I need to say anything about this game?
I looked at my list. I actually don't have a player's choice version, so I guess I am being...
I do think it's really funny how this big fat bestseller sticker, like Mike Wazowski's Yoshi, on the cover.
It's true.
I didn't even realize that. That's funny.
Yeah.
Oh.
I think it's kind of silly that they have player's choice at the top and a bestseller thing.
And bestseller on the... Yeah,
but anyway, tell us about the game.
It's really funny. Paper Mario: The Thousand Year Door is a turn-based RPG where you play as Paper Mario and you have a variety of other characters such as Goombella, Koops, Yoshi, Captain Bobbery, or Admiral Bobbery.
Are you reading off
me.
of a list right now?
No.
Yes.
I'm just imitating you.
Oh.
But no, it's a fucking strong cast of characters, great partners, great memorable chapters, really fun writing. You got the Bogley Tree. You got Hawktail, the dragon. That was his name, right?
I don't know.
Fucking...
I never played the game.
Hooktail, not Hawktail. Jesus Christ. I'm stupid. You got fucking the wrestling chapter. You got the fucking spooky town with the pigs chapter. You got the pirates chapter. There's all kinds of shit in this game. It's really fun. There, you got badges. You got hammers. And you got items. I've talked about this game so many times.
I'm sure this is going to be a running thing for our top 10 games.
A lot of these are going to be games that we've talked about a million times before, so it's hard to find new things to talk about, but this is a great game, and I love it. Okay. And that's pretty much all I need to say.
My number 9 is Final Fantasy Tactics: The War of the Lions for PSP. I mean, I guess you could consider the original PS1 release, but War of the Lions is better because you have more content. But anyway, Final Fantasy Tactics I've talked about quite a few times. It is a strategy RPG. Have you ever wanted to beat up a corrupt church? Have you ever wanted to beat up corrupt rich hierarchy?
Yes.
This game lets you do all of that. It's really fun. The plot of the game is really interesting because, like, at first you're supposed to be like kind of just working for your older brothers who are like pulling strings around, and then you realize, because you actually have a sense of justice, that one of your brothers is a douchebag and the church are douchebags. So we're going to get to the bottom of this, and you end up killing literal like demonic possessed like church hierarchy, and it's insane. It's a really good plot though. There's a lot of deep intrigue to it. They kind of like slowly unravel the twists and turns as you go along. The gameplay is really good. You've got a bunch of different classes that you can choose from, and that open up to more and more diverse and more interesting, more complicated and intricate classes as the game goes on, and as the characters level up into different jobs. I like being able to kind of like tinker my ability list to my liking with like abilities that I've bought off of different classes, and just kind of put them together and like Frankenstein's monster units together that or can do like insane stuff like evade 90% of attacks and counter almost everything, and just fun silly stuff like that. The music is really, really good. I don't remember the people that composed it because it's not like Nobuo Uematsu or like your typical Final Fantasy people, but they did a really good job with the soundtrack. The characters are pretty great. I like Agrius. I like Ramza is the main character that I mentioned earlier. He's a great character. Delita is really cool, like rival anti-hero character, because it's like you hate him but you love him, but you hate him but you love him, but you hate him but you love him, and it's just this back and forth between best friends it's just really well written stuff. And everything else that I could say I've said in like past top 10 countdowns, past talks, episodes, past this and that. So like Final Fantasy Tactics, The War of the Lions, go slap it in your PlayStation portable machine and have a grand old time.
Wow, speaking of games with really well done pixel art, fantastic music, excellent job classes, and other words Cloud said, Octopath Traveler 2 is definitely a game like that.
Wow.
But we're not here to talk about Octopath Traveler 2. We're here to talk about Mario Kart 8 Deluxe for the Nintendo Switch.
God fucking damn it.
Yeah. There it is.
You stretch the bit out to really get me to like believe it.
Well, Cloud, anime is only real if you don't believe it. So don't stop believing.
God, don't stop believing.
Yeah, don't stop believing.
Bring it right back to that journey, that entry that we talked about earlier.
Yeah.
God damn.
Remember that classic moment of this podcast?
Yeah, let's go back to that. Let's have a Ace Attorney fucking flashback to the middle of our podcast.
Oh God. But yeah, talk to us about Mario Kart 8 Deluxe then, Landon.
Why?
Great question.
Why the fuck should I?
I love how aggressive that question was.
That was really aggressive.
It's Mario Kart 8 Deluxe for the Nintendo Switch. No, I'm not going to talk to you about it. Fuck you. You know what, viewer? I'm going to talk to you about something else. I don't know what that something else is right now. I'm going to get there by the end of this rant. But I don't need to talk to you about this video game. You can go... Jack already talked about it. See, I don't even have to fucking...
Yeah.
I don't even have to. You know what I am going to talk about? I'm going to...
Landon's just a little mad because we did spend like half of our Mario Kart podcast skunked? Just talking about Mario Kart 8.
Cider doesn't get stuck.
Oh, good. So, instead of talking about Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, I'm going to talk about alcohol beverages today.
Hell yeah.
Oh my God. Oh my goodness.
How's it taste? What are you drinking, Landon?
It's In Clyde Cider Company, Marion Berry. Family owned, crafted responsibly, gluten free.
Nice.
What Mario Kart track does it taste like?
Good question.
Super Nintendo Rainbow Road.
There you go.
The
That's all you need.
The only track that they needed to have in the game, and they decided to throw in some bonus ones after that.
About 95 of them after DLC.
And on that note, let's move on to our number 7s.
You mean 8?
No.
8?
We're going to skip
8.
8s.
Wow.
Oh, yeah, shit. Right. Number 8. My apologies. My number 8 is The Legend of Zelda: The Wind Waker.
Yay!
I don't have a physical copy of that.
What the fuck?
Wow, you're a fake fan.
I am a fake fan.
You're good.
Landon's pulling it out for me. Thank you, Landon.
You want a second copy?
He's showing all of his copies.
Here's 2 copies. Take them.
I
No,
have it.
you're not going to give him copies of Wind Waker.
I mean, I'll take it.
He's not going to give them to you.
I don't currently own a GameCube copy of the game, and my copy on the Wii U is digital, so... Apologies. But, hey, it's that game we just finished streaming last week. Go watch the Great Ace Attorney VODs. But, yeah, The Wind Waker. It's my favorite Zelda game. We just talked about this on the Zelda podcast 2 weeks ago. Or not 2 weeks ago, 2 podcasts ago.
That's 4 weeks ago.
4 weeks ago. I see, I corrected myself.
I know.
Fucking, what do you want me to say about the Wind Waker? It's got the Great Sea, it's got the King of Red Lions, you got Tetra, you got the pirates, you got Errol, you got Grandma, you got fucking what's his name? The guy that teaches you the moves. Orca, that's his name. I kept wanting to call him like Shark. Which
wrong.
Is close.
That's wrong.
Yeah, I know. I knew it was like named after an aquatic creature.
Oh!
You got Beetle? You got fucking Beetle in this game. What more do you need?
Sploosh.
That's all you need. And then you have fucking... My god, I'm blanking on his name. Salvador. Salvatore. Excuse me. Classic game. Combat is great. Visually, stunning. Dungeons, fantastic. Boss fights, memorable. Music, great. Exploring the Great Sea, satisfying. What more do you... that's all. I don't even have anything else to say about it. It's the Wind Waker. Go watch the Great Ace Attorney VODs.
My number 8 is a game that is probably a contender for a game that's been on the most available platforms, right up there with Doom and Skyrim. Sonic the Hedgehog 2. It's on, like, everything. I literally listed, like, systems that, like, everything was on, and instead of putting, like, a system for Sonic 2, I just put many, because it's really just on everything. If you go over to your microwave right now in your kitchen, you could probably play Sonic 2 on it. I mean, yeah.
Slightly, might need to have a slightly more advanced microwave, but, you know.
You could probably play Sonic 2 on a TI-84 calculator if you're smart enough.
Do you think a TI-84 has the blast processing for Sonic 2, Cloud?
Sure.
It probably has more
Sonic
processing than Genesis did.
I'm convinced.
Yeah. Sonic the Hedgehog 2 is still my favorite Sonic game. We did do like a ranking of 2D Sonic games, and I put Sonic Mania at number 1. I still think it's the best, but this is top games of all time, and Sonic 2 is still my favorite. So that's the one I'm putting up here.
Is this top favorite games of all time or top best games of all time?
I don't give a shit about top best games of all time. This is top favorite games.
It's whatever the fuck you decided you wanted your list to be.
My list is some random games. Wow. 2024 edition.
Oh, okay. See? There you go.
I'm sorry.
So,
some random games. Oh, wow. 2024 edition.
So, I mean...
Oh, wow.
It's Sonic 2. Do I really need to talk about it?
Yes.
It has a lot of fun zones. It has iconic characters such as Sonic the Hedgehog, Miles Tails Prower, Dr. Ivo Eggman Robotnik. There are iconic areas such as Chemical Plant Zone, and Mystic Cave Zone, and Oil Ocean, and Emerald Hill. I can't believe they got away with putting the Bee Gees' Staying Alive as Chemical Plant's music, because that's literally just what it is. Yeah, I just wanted to mention that. I mean, it's Sonic 2. You've got all those iconic levels. I like that the later releases, like on the mobile port, on Sonic Origins, added Hidden Palace and just kind of touched a little bit of stuff up. I still prefer it over Sonic 3 Knuckles and Sonic Mania just because I feel like it's just the right pace. It's kind of weird. It's like, it's not technically better than them, but it's the kind of game that, like, just because of the pacing for it, it's like, I just always want to pick this game up and go back and replay it over and over and over. And it introduced Super Sonic. So, thumbs up for that. Sonic 2.
I didn't listen to a word you said, so I assume my choice won't, interfere with that statement that Cloud just made.
Nope.
But the actual best Sonic game ever is my number 7, and yes, that's right.
You're skipping your number 8.
Oh. My number...
We're still on number 8.
Well, do you want to know what my number 7 is?
Not yet.
Oh.
Not yet.
I'm gonna
We'll
tell
get
you.
there.
What if I told you anyway, and then I went back to my number 8?
Okay.
I mean, we kind of already know what your number 7 probably is.
What's my number
then.
7?
Sonic Triple Trouble.
No, that's my number 8. My number 7 is actually Bitch Represents Runner 2 Future Legend of Rhythm Alien.
What?
Oh, okay.
Wow. Anyway, talk about your number 8, Landon.
Which one was
Sonic
that again?
Triple Trouble.
Oh, Sonic Triple Trouble.
Sonic Triple Trouble for the Sega Game Gear.
Oh, you know all those things that Cloud said about whatever game he talked about before this?
Disregard all of it.
Please disregard all of it. This game has all the best pacing in the world. It has all of the best characters, including Knuckles the Echidna. How many games have Knuckles the Echidna and Knack the Weasel, Fang the Sniper? I don't think those two characters are in fucking Sonic the Hedgehog 2.
They're in Sonic Superstars, though.
Yeah?
And Sonic the Fighters.
Yeah?
Are those good Sonic games now because of that?
Yeah?
Okay. Just
All
making,
right.
just checking in. Just wanted to,
making sure that you're
I want to
consistent.
know what the ground rules for a good Sonic game were. Now I know.
Ground rules for a good Sonic game. Knuckles, Knack the Weasel, Fang the Sniper. That's it.
Just like how the ground rules for a good Zelda game. Does it have fishing?
Well, a good RPG.
Yeah.
True.
Yeah.
But you mentioned that specifically in the Zelda podcast.
Oh, true.
Yes, but he also said that Ocarina of Time is just a Zelda game, not a good Zelda game. But it is a Zelda game because it has fishing.
Yeah, I'm allowing it. Anyway,
Wait, does that mean? Oh wait, for some reason I was gonna equate Sonic with Sonic Triple Trouble with fishing, and then be like, is that a good Zelda game?
yes.
Is Sonic Adventure a good Zelda game?
Oh, no.
Yes. Is it a good RPG?
No.
Is it a bad first-person shooter?
Yes.
All right.
We're getting off track. You can tell us more about Sonic Triple Trouble.
I don't... Alright, fine. It's like a 2D Sonic game. It's like one, but it isn't one.
And that's it.
That's it. It's like one, but it isn't one. It's got classic stages like...
Hold on. You need to say it one more time because then it's Triple Trouble.
That it's like one, but it isn't one?
Thank you.
Oh,
All right,
okay.
awesome. Thanks.
Alright, well, it's got classic stages like Metal Jungular.
Isn't it Meta Jungulara?
Yeah, but I like saying it.
Yeah.
Metal Jugular.
Metal Jugular.
Robotic Winter.
It does have Robotic Winter. I like Triple Trouble a lot. It's fun. It's one that I like going back to every once in a while and just playing through it. I like Knuckles' boss fight because he's in a submarine and you're underwater and you just beat him up.
Who gave Knuckles a submarine?
Eggman did. He's working with
That's
Eggman.
kind of wacky.
Yeah. What's funny to me is canonically, this game takes place after Sonic 3 and Knuckles.
So after Knuckles had supposed to realize that Eggman's a bad guy.
Yeah, but then he's just like, shit, that Sonic character is up to no good again. And then
Gotta fix it.
yeah,
It really
Gotta do something about
really
that.
is true to Knuckles' character.
I love it. Like,
He's the memory of a goldfish.
but this game also has super shoes, and by that I mean rocket shoes and snowboard.
Cool.
Now, how many good Sonic games have snowboards? One.
Disagree.
One.
More than one.
Yeah, name more than one.
Okay. I'll name more than one later.
I won't believe you.
Okay, yeah. I know. I know you won't.
Let's move on to number 7s.
Hey, number 7 is a game that has not appeared at all on anyone's list up to this point.
Oh, yeah?
In any capacity.
Oh, yeah?
It's Persona 5 Royal for the PlayStation 4.
Damn, he right. That has not shown up on anyone's list at all in any capacity whatsoever. That is a brand new...
Because
elusive
this is
title.
Persona 5 Royal and not regular Persona 5.
So
See, that's
in
how you
other
know
words,
because
you're
it
just
has this character.
you're just hitting us with the actually.
Actually,
This is a different game because they released it with a different title and there's a new character in it, and it's not the same game.
to be fair, they add like over 20 hours of content to this game. It's crazy how much they add to this one. They made an already very long game even longer, and I think that's pretty funny.
Didn't they also rework the metaverse?
Yes, a little bit. All of the dungeons are kind of like, I wouldn't say laid out differently. Like, they definitely like adjusted some shit compared to the original. I don't know, it's been a minute since I've played vanilla Persona 5, so I couldn't really say 100% for sure. But hey, Persona 5 Royal is everything that Persona 5 vanilla did, but they made it... I wouldn't even necessarily say they made it better. They just added more, which is good. It's more Persona 5.
It's sexier.
I love Persona 5.
You can just say it. It's
It
sexier.
is sexier.
There you go.
It's sexier. But no, I mean, like, you know, Persona 5. Great gameplay. Great story. Love the characters. The writing is fun. The extremely, like, satisfying and addictive gameplay loop. When quarantine happened, this and Animal Crossing New Horizons were pretty much the only two games I was playing, and I was playing them all the fucking time.
When's that stream?
When's what stream? This one or that one?
The Persona 5 Royal stream.
One fucking day, but like, my God,
What would
this
take
game is-
what would take you longer, that or Xenoblade?
Oh, this, definitely. Xenoblade is probably like a 70-hour RPG. Okay, now, this was a Platinum Trophy playthrough of this game, but it was like 127 hours. It was like at least 120, somewhere between 120 and 130. But like, this game is long as fuck. This would definitely take longer than Xenoblade. But maybe if I, like, plowed through it and tried to, like, skip all the dialogue, which I wouldn't necessarily do if it was a stream, but one day. Al says he thinks his plat was at around 115 hours. Yeah, that's about right. Yeah. Modern classic. Great game. Love it.
Anything else you want to add?
Happy birthday, Makoto.
Happy birthday, Makoto.
Thanks, Queen.
My number 7 is I don't know what this game is. Like, you guys talked about it. It was something about like a Hello Kitty kart cruiser, right?
Kirby Planet
Like
Robobot. Yeah.
Nah. Ace Attorney Trials and Tribulations. Yeah.
No, it's Mario Kart 8 Deluxe again. Because
Yeah.
wow, Landon is just so unamused.
Eh.
It's Mario Kart 8 Deluxe. I can't believe they got away with
Making a video game?
Making a video
No
game.
fucking way. They made a video game.
How the fuck
It's
did
crazy,
Nintendo
dude.
make a goddamn video game?
How did they fucking do it?
But yeah,
Just
like
don't know.
Mario Kart 8 has been on a wild journey ever since the Wii U original. I mean, when Deluxe came out, we got a battle mode. Before Deluxe came out, we had DLC that gave us Mercedes-Benz.
Hell yeah.
That's the important part. Just ask Landon in our Mario Kart podcast.
I wish
Those
I
were
was.
words you.
I wish I knew who that Landon was.
Wow.
Just disassociating from your past self. But
Every day.
yeah, it's Mario Kart 8 Deluxe. We've played this game a lot. We've talked about this game a lot. You got 96 courses. You got fucking 50 characters or some shit. I don't know. And there's a good battle mode and just a lot of great, just everything. Yeah.
Well,
All right then. Landon.
the cat's already out of the bag, folks.
Cheese Whiz?
No, well, he's out of the room. I was gonna say, we already know what my number 7 is, so...
What is it? I don't remember.
Do you not remember?
He said
No,
Bit Trip presents Runner 2 Future
I'm doing a bit.
He's doing the bit!
He's doing the Bit Trip.
He's doing the bit trip!
The Bit Trip.
Bit Trips presents Runner 2 Future Legend of Rhythm Alien. Today's thrilling episode is sponsored by Burger Mouth Burger Brand Burgers.
Okay.
Okay.
Cool.
Hey, did you ever play a game where you run and jump?
No
No.
fucking way.
No?
Never.
Okay. Well, this game, you get to run and jump, but you actually don't get to run yourself. The game runs for you.
You are making this sound very boring.
I'm trying my best.
This is just like back when Jack was talking about Animal Crossing. He was like, "You get to talk to your neighbors," and I'm like,
Hey,
man,
I
what
had
the
some
fuck?
I had some fucking enthusiasm in my voice when I said that at least.
Yeah, let me try it again. With more enthusiasm this time. In this game, you get to jump, slide, spring, block, dance,
Don't forget
kick.
loop-de-loop.
loop-de-loop.
And then the four-corner one, like the diamond.
I can't believe you're not telling us about Reverse Merman or Wet Fart Cheeseburger.
You get to play as such iconic characters like Commander Video, Commander Girl Video, Wet Fart Cheeseburger, and Reverse Merman.
What about Uncle Dill?
Uncle Dill's Dills. A garden variety. Anyway, I love this game. It has great music. It has great mechanics. It has really well-paced level difficulty. And I love...
Oh, so not like the first game.
Yes. Unlike the first game, it's good.
Wow.
Damn.
Well,
now...
it tracks because this is on your list and that one isn't.
Yeah. Now, longtime viewers, folks at home might know, I love Bit Trip Void. And you'll notice something I said at the top. Bit Trip Void is surprisingly not going to be on my list. It's sad. It's true. I decided Runner 2 might be the video game.
Wow.
But that's mostly because I couldn't, I decided I wasn't going to be a cheap ass and just put the Bit Trip Complete collection.
Would you say that it is the Commander video game?
I wouldn't say that, but if you want to say that, I'll let you.
Sure. Thanks.
But Runner 2 is a lot of fun. I love it. I'm doing a replay.
It can make her...
They just put it on the Switch. And I'm in the Mounting Sads and doing my Triple Perfect Plus run for the Nintendo Switch version. It's great. I'm loving it.
I was going to say it can make or break whether a system is failed or not.
It's true. It is one of the few guidelines that I go by. If a system is good or bad. And for the longest time, the Switch was a failed system.
Until it wasn't.
Yeah, well...
When Runner 2
Yeah.
blessed the eShop.
So there we go. Runner 2, Future Legend of Rhythm Alien. Go buy it now for $10 on the Nintendo Switch.
It's $10 fucking on the Switch eShop. Go buy
What are you
it. It's
doing?
such a good game.
Don't listen to
I
us.
didn't realize it was only $10.
It's $10.
Oh, yeah.
$10
US
dollars.
And it's a pretty chunky game.
I
It's
was gonna say, that is...
You don't even...
it takes a while to complete.
We did a Let's Play. There's a
Even-
lot of content there.
Even if you don't... You can just normal run it. You don't have to get pluses at the end. You don't have to get double pluses. You don't have to get triple pluses. You don't have to get perfect pluses. You can just get normal clears. There's 100 levels, plus 25 retro challenges, tons of unlockable characters, one for every world, And
bunch of costumes to unlock.
for all those characters to unlock. My God, what are you doing? Stop listening to us right now. Actually, please continue to listen to us. It helps.
We got to move on to our number 6.
Yeah, because it's my
But
turn.
anyway, we're just going to skip the rest of the list. We're just going to talk about Runner 2 Future Legend Rhythm Alien for the rest of the podcast. So anyway, the Emerald Brine is such a fucking classic stage.
Listen, we are 2.5 hours into this podcast, and we got to keep it moving.
Should probably speed it up a little.
So then we should talk about the super nature now, then, is what you're saying.
Yeah. I got some super nature for you.
Fucking Bigfoot shows up there.
Jack, please tell us your number 6.
My number 6 is Pokemon Emerald version.
Yeah.
Pokemon Emerald version for the Game Boy Advance system of families.
Video game franchises.
You could also include Ruby and Sapphire in this spot as well if you want, but Emerald is the best version of those trio of games.
Ruby, Sapphire, and Emerald.
Oh hell yeah! I'm jealous of those. Actually, I don't have Ruby and Sapphire anymore.
Hey, Jack,
I got all 3.
What if we go to his place next year and just steal his stuff?
Dude, I would be so fucking upset.
We would leave a note that says IOU.
Thanks. K-bye.
That wouldn't make me any less upset.
Exactly.
No.
But anyway, Pokemon Emerald version. This is like, if it's not Sonic Adventure 2 Battle, which does not appear on my list, this is like my childhood game of all time. I spent countless hours playing this generation of games back in the day. Emerald is just the best version of the 3, in my opinion. It has the most content. You can catch all 3 box art legendaries. You have the Battle Frontier.
Pokemon!
It's the Battle Frontier.
Battle Frontier. Pokemon, be the best you can be and find your destiny.
It's the
master plan. The power's in your hand.
Pokemon.
I think it probably would have been better if you just sang the Battle Frontier opening and just that would have been it. Didn't have to say anything else.
That's all I gotta say.
Go watch the Great Ace Attorney VODs.
Go watch the Great Ace Attorney VODs. Hey, speaking of the Patreon poll that I was talking about, this will appear in the Patreon poll as a Kaizo.
Kaizo?
I will...
as a Kaizo?
Or no, sorry, not Kaizo. Nuzlocke.
Oh, I don't
Jesus,
care
I'm...
okay.
I don't care.
I'm not touching Kaizo Emerald. Fuck that. I fucked up my words. As a Nuzlocke, excuse me.
You just hyped everybody up and now you just let us down.
I'm sorry. I'm not. Listen, I've never even completed a Nuzlocke. I'm not doing Emerald Kaizo right to start.
Kaizo, Emerald,
as a
Nuzlocke. When?
Listen, they both have Z's in their names. My brain messed them up. Fuck it. This is a classic. I've been saying that about all these games, but like this is the true classic. Fantastic region. Love all the new Pokemon. Love the music. Love the fucking music. The characters are fun. It has a fun story. The Team Aqua and Team Magma, they're goofy and they're fun. They're fun to fight. Just a really good journey, adventure that you go on, exploring the region, soaking it all in. It's great. I love it. And that's all.
My number 6 is Kingdom Hearts 2 Final Mix. I did not mean to rhyme, but it just happened to shake it out that way this time.
Wow, he keeps
that
going.
rhymed too.
Yeah, I keep going.
Can you continue?
I don't know if I can keep this going, but the rhymes, they just keep growing. I don't know.
Wow.
This is really bad. I'm gonna end this bit here. Kingdom Hearts 2 Final Mix. I've talked about this game a lot. I have an LP that's a Let's Play that's currently on hiatus. That we've gotten to we've finished the main game that you can go watch on YouTube, and it's pretty good, I think. Maybe it's in the middle. It's kind of good. I don't know. It depends on who you're asking. But I mean, I love this game. Music's great. The combat is just fluid and really just satisfying and frenetic, and it's just really good stuff. I mean, over time, I've found that like the worlds can be kind of linear, but I don't really care. Like it's just fun, and Donald and Goofy and all the characters are a lot of fun, and Sora gets to be with his boyfriend Riku at the end, and it's nice.
Freaku!
Freaku!
I love Freaku.
Kingdom Hearts 2 Final Mix.
He's the best character in this game. Freaku.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
He didn't say he wasn't in the game. He's just letting me believe that the Riku that we...
I'm just letting you have this one. Anyway, let's move on to Landon's number 6.
Hey folks, you know what game I really love? It's so good. It's,
Kingdom Hearts 2 Final Mix.
It's... Oh, you fucking wish. No, my favorite...
I couldn't care either way.
My favorite game that is at the number 6 slot is Metroid Prime.
Wow.
2 Echoes.
He did it again.
Wow.
Yeah, we did it again.
But this time, Jack didn't respond the way that he did the first time.
Because I knew it was coming.
Well, let's try it again. Metroid Prime.
Oh my god!
Corruption.
No way!
What the fuck?
Good one. Good one, Landon.
Thanks, Jack.
You really got me.
I always try to like have a good time at getting you.
Here at GamingStooges.
Yeah. Yeah. Anyway, hey, have you ever played a game?
No.
Well, I've got the perfect one for you to start with. It's a game about Samus Aran, bounty hunter extraordinaire, and she goes extraordinaire. She does the thing where she
explode in air.
She explodes all over.
I would say that's accurate, actually.
She does power bomb everywhere, so that is a true fact. This game, instead of other Metroids, you get 2 worlds to explore. There's a light and a dark world, and the dark world has funky themes to it when you listen to the music. And it has some pretty cool bosses, and you get to shoot a gun. It's your arm.
Shooting a gun is fun.
Your arm is a gun. It's a Glock.
No way.
Your arm is a Glock now.
Hell yeah.
That's it. That's all there is to the game.
Okay.
Number 5.
That's all you need.
Number 5.
Number 5s.
Jack.
Hey, does anyone else have this game in their number 5 slot? It's... I'm just making sure this is the correct number 5. Yep, okay. Chrono Trigger!
Hey! I did it!
Hey!
We did it!
Really?
We did it!
Really?
Yeah!
Really? Are you fucking with me?
No. I'll send you the
Trigger's-
image.
Okay.
Yeah.
Hey, it's Chrono Trigger.
Trigger, folks.
For the Nintendo DS
We did
family
it.
of systems.
Not only did we do the thing where I say a thing and then Jack says it right after, but then we also
did the thing where we have the same game in the same slot.
Yay, we did it.
I'm so pissed right now.
Why? Is it your
Is
number
yours
4?
slightly off?
Yeah.
Yay, we did it!
Yeah, we did it.
I fucking hate this because when we did our when we did our 90s top games podcast, it was reversed, and I had Chrono Trigger as my number 3, and these two assholes had it as their number 2s, so I couldn't talk about it with them. And now it's gone the other fucking way around. So now it's their number 5s and it's my number 4s. So once again, I don't get to talk about it with them because my number 5 was Pokemon Heart Gold Soul Silver instead.
Yeah.
Touchdown.
Touchdown,
Lakers.
This This makes this the only game that appears in all of our top fives, which I'm not at all surprised by.
It's true.
It's fucking Chrono Trigger. Have you played this goddamn game? You should. You, the viewer / listener. I mean, obviously the three of us have played it.
I've never played it.
Oh, really? It's weird that you would put it so high on your top games list.
So goddamn.
It's on my radar actually, so I just thought I'd throw it up at number 5 just because.
Oh, okay, yeah. You were just like assuming it would be your number 5 game of all time.
Yeah. Fun fact: I did not include this game in my original 2014 edition of this list. Not because I hadn't played it at that point, but because
you just forgot
about it.
That's insane. I mean, if it makes you feel any better, when we did our top games of the 2010s, I forgot to include Kirby Planet Robobot, which absolutely should have been on there.
Wow. We're going to beat him up
I know.
this.
I know.
All right,
Cloud,
anyway.
What's your number 5?
my number 5 is Pokemon Heart Gold and Soul Silver.
Listen, you talk about that right now, and then we'll all talk about Chrono Trigger.
All right. My number 5 is Pokemon Heart Gold Soul Silver because it's the best Pokemon game. And if you don't think that, fuck you. It is.
I don't believe that.
I'm kidding. Okay. What? But, okay. Anyway, Pokemon Heart Gold Soul Silver has just a ton of content. You've got both the Johto and Kanto regions. You've got rematches with all the gym leaders. Yes, all of them. You got a battle frontier. You've got a customizable safari zone. You've got the Pokeathlon where Diglett does not jump because Diglett does not jump. And that's important. You got the national park where you can do bug catching contests. The music's really good. Pokemon follow you around and it doesn't suck like it does in some of the later games. Yeah, it's a good game. I mean, we've talked about it a lot. Okay, now let's talk about Chrono Trigger. Yay!
Yay!
Oh, first we have
our number 5.
We have to talk about Jack's number 4.
Oh shit, we do.
Yeah.
No. We'll talk about Chrono Trigger and then we'll come back around to you for number 4.
Okay.
Chrono
Trigger.
Chrono
What
Trigger.
a fucking classic.
One of the best games of all time.
Rest in peace, Akira Toriyama.
Yeah.
What a fucking one of the coolest box arts of all time. Like, so fucking sick. What a classic JRPG. Like, and anyone who has played this game would tell you. That looks like good food. What you got there?
That's not what people would tell you if they played Chrono Trigger.
It's all over my lap now. That's where it is.
Oh shit. Well, have fun cleaning that up while I talk about Chrono Trigger. Shit, dude.
It's Chrono Trigger.
Classic Chrono Trigger. Classic game.
You got great characters, great setting, great music.
Great multiple settings because you fucking time travel.
And it's good.
Yeah.
It's really good.
One of the it's so ambitious to have like time travel as like a core mechanic of a game that came out in 1995 and they did it so fucking well.
I know it's not talked about quite as much, but I just really enjoy the pacing of Chrono Trigger because like RPGs can have this like problem where like they either take a while to get going or they just have a period of the game where it's like a little bit of a slog. Chrono Trigger just does not have that at all. Like there really isn't a part in Chrono Trigger that feels slow. Like it's incredibly well paced.
Yeah. And like each character like gets their own like time to shine.
Yep.
Like each of the 6 like main playable characters. Like
Robo gets his moment at when he like confronts his brethren, I guess, quote unquote, because they think that he's defective.
Such a sad moment.
It's
in that
so
game.
great. I mean, Ayla's got her moments to shine where she like helps break everybody out of being captured. You've got, Luca's got her moments. Marl's got her moments. Frog obviously has moments. I mean, Magus, he's an optional character that you can get later. He's got some really cool moments. Really cool, like confronting Queen Zeal. It's funny because like people will talk about Chrono Trigger like the gameplay is really great and the story is really interesting, but it's funny because it's like most of it's not mandatory. So like at any point you can just choose to go to the end of the game, and because of that part, like one of the strengths about Chrono Trigger is that it really is just what you make it. Like you will have almost full control after a point in the game of where you want to go, what path you want to take. There's a bunch of content that you can choose to not do or do. There's just a lot of little mini arcs that you can do with different characters in different time periods. Just it feels like a lived-in world. I've mentioned this in like other podcasts, maybe not necessarily talk about Chrono Trigger, but it's just great to have a game where like it really feels like you have agency over the experience, and it feels like you're actually part of it rather than just kind of steering the ship. Great game.
So,
Landon, do you have any words to add?
Yes, two parts I like. I love the festival opening. Like,
oh yeah,
it is a great like opening sequence, like to introduce
one of
the whole game. Chrono waking up and then going into the festival, meeting his friends, and then the whole bit that sets off the whole game. And then I love the trial section.
Yeah,
that's a fun part.
That's another thing that you have control over. Like you can make it so that like they, depending on what you do, like maybe they'll find you guilty, maybe they won't find you guilty. I mean, you're gonna get locked up either way, but you get control over what they say about it.
Yeah, some of your actions by that point actually reflect what the game says, which is cool. So yeah, Chrono Trigger.
Like it's so genius. Like just the small things that game does, like whether or not you walk forward or let Marl bump into you is literally a factor in the trial. Like that's insane that they went to that length to think about that.
I do love the combat as well. Like the combat system of this game is great. The 3-party structure where you have like the combo attacks.
And I mentioned
works really well.
Yeah, I alluded to that system when I was talking about Phantasy Star 4. Unlike Phantasy Star 4, where it's kind of vague and just kind of tacked on, like Chrono Trigger really makes it a point to make your characters work together and not just be separate party members. Like, I mean, yeah, you have party systems where, like, some character might be buffing the others, but, like, no, your characters are really directly doing things together to affect their moves. And that's just really cool, the combinations you can get out of that.
And then,
yeah,
it has one of my favorite endings in a video game where you go to the dev room and talk to the devs.
Yeah. There's a bunch of really good endings. The DS version adds a bunch of extra content, which is really good stuff. You can raise your own monster in that version.
The best Pokemon game.
It is. There it is.
Best
Pokemon game.
Not only is it the best Final Fantasy, it's the best Pokemon.
It's the best Pokemon. There you
Chrono
go.
Trigger.
there you go. All right, let's come back around for the number 4s that aren't mine because I did that. Jack, what's your number 4?
It's Chrono Trigger.
I forgot to grab it. I'm sorry. It's Chrono Trigger again. Yay! I'm just kidding.
It's so good. It's not here twice.
My number 4 is Metroid Prime
3 Corruption.
Remastered.
That would have been a fun bit.
Just pull it out and just be like Metroid Prime
3 Echoes
Trilogy.
Trilogy.
You 3 Echoes?
You cheater.
You.
No, I'm going with specifically Metroid Prime Remastered, recently released for the Nintendo Switch family of video game systems.
I love how you use family of video game systems now.
It's just funny.
It is.
Yeah, I mean, like, Metroid Prime, classic game. Go watch those VODs. We streamed it as recently as last year. I played the remastered version for the Switch, which is nothing but an improvement over the original because it adds dual stick aiming, and that is all it needs to be better. And it's crazy. Like, okay, playing like this game with like single stick aiming is not. It's like it's playable. I can do it. Like I'm more than capable of playing through the entire game of doing it that way. But now that I have played with right stick aiming, I don't think I can go back because it's so fluid. It's so like nice to like just breeze through this game with better camera controls than previously.
And it looks great. And like the remaster.
Oh, it looks fucking phenomenal. Yeah.
Is it really a breeze to play through?
All right. Well, there were some parts where I got lost.
There was a whole Grandia 2 stream where you got lost.
Hey, I didn't get lost in that stream. I was looking for a missile upgrade that I missed in that stream.
And it took the whole stream.
And
you still
it took more. It took more than the whole stream. That was
just as a friendly reminder, everybody.
Always make sure that you collect the missile upgrades if you're following a guide, because otherwise you will be very lost. It has such classic characters as Samus Aran, Meta Ridley, and others.
Pretty much it.
Love all of the locations. Love the music. Atmosphere in this game is incredible. Gameplay is really fun. All of the upgrades are all of the bonus shit is like hidden without being like so hidden that you would never find it without a guide. Like if you kept looking, you would find it eventually, but like I don't know. It's my favorite Metroid game. It's my favorite Metroidvania game. It's my favorite video game from a first-person perspective. It's my second favorite T-rated video game.
You're just rattling off whatever you can.
Yeah, well, you know.
Landon, what's your number 4?
My number 4 is a video game that Jack doesn't own physically.
Yep.
That's right. It's the game that we just streamed very recently. Earlier today, we streamed Dragon Quest II. In Dragon Quest II, you have 3 playable party members. And
Stooge, Juke, and Clud.
Yeah. And they all, coming off
iconic characters.
Coming off the original game where you only had 1 party member, introducing 2 new party members is such a great way to really expand the video game. It has such iconic places that you can explore, like Mindenhall Castle, Tantagil Castle, and others.
How long are you gonna stretch this bit out?
I don't know, until people start watching our streams on Twitch. Go watch our streams on Twitch.
They do.
Oh. These people?
In fact, we have more people tuning in to the actual game that's number 4 on your list than they do the podcast.
Oh. Damn. Well then, I need to go back in time and tell everyone to watch the podcast instead of watching the Legend of Zelda Wind Waker HD edition for the Nintendo
Yeah, he
Wii
said
U.
it! There you go.
Yeah. Wind Waker is a video game that is so fun that it was released twice.
And you bought it twice.
I bought it more than twice, probably. I don't know. Actually, I did buy it more than twice. Because I bought... Did I buy a digital copy at some point? Probably not.
Maybe.
There's no way to find out anymore. Yeah.
True.
Would buying an entire Wii U that has it installed constitute buying it?
If I'm specifically buying the Wii U to own the digital copy of Wind Waker HD.
There you go.
But I didn't do that, because...
Just say that you did.
You already had a Wii U.
Well, I already had a copy of the game, so I just needed a Wii U to play it. Anyway, Zelda, Wind Waker, fun. Good. Great. Amazing.
Awesome.
Fantastic.
Outstanding. Amazing.
Okay.
That all you want to say?
I also want to say I'm eating chicken and a salad.
Okay.
To answer your question from earlier.
Okay.
To what I have.
Good to know.
Thank you for answering.
How about we move on to our number 3s, Jack?
My number 3 is my favorite T-rated video game. It's Xenoblade Chronicles, baby.
Notice how it's not the definitive edition for the Nintendo Switch.
Well, there is also Xenoblade Chronicles 3D for the new Nintendo 3DS.
Perfect.
Which
that's the one that's really getting the spot here at number 3, guys.
I'm still just kind of amazed that this version of the game exists, and I own it.
I own it as well.
I never got very far in this version. But no, the specific version that I am ranking here is Xenoblade Chronicles Definitive Edition for the Switch.
No way.
Yes way. The everything in the game looks nicer than the original, because, you know, you're running on Wii power on this one, which, by the way, this game still looks phenomenal for a Wii game, but it is limited by the fact that it is a Wii game. This game looks fucking great.
Al's
This game has
saying to make this the longest
podcast. This has such classic characters as Shulk, Rhine, Fiora, and also has gameplay and music. But
that's gameplay and music.
I don't know. I fucking love this game. I've told this story before, but like the day that I brought home Xenoblade Chronicles on launch day, which was 12 fucking years ago, I played it for 11 hours.
Jesus.
In one day. I literally got home at like noon I sat down and played it, and I like only stopped to like briefly eat dinner, and I played until after midnight. So, yeah. It's my favorite RPG. It's got fantastic gameplay. The game, amazing look, like incredible world to explore. This game looks phenomenal. Fucking killer soundtrack. Like, my god, no matter what the situation, whether it's just like exploring the world and you have like the kind of like I don't want to say ambient, because at nighttime it's ambient, but like during the day you have like this like kind of triumphant sounding like orchestra that adventure, that's a great word for it. Very adventurous music. And then you get to the fucking battles, specifically the boss battles, where you get in the fucking like rock and metal instrumentation, and it's absolutely killer. Super memorable and fantastic story, great characters. Shit, dude. It's fucking Xenoblade. I love this game.
My number 3 is Super Mario Advance 4 Super Mario Brothers 3. I
respect picking that version of the game.
It's the best version of the game, in my opinion. And not just because like you have access to like e-reader levels, like that's cool and all. I didn't actually experience them. I just like it because 1, it's on the Game Boy Advance, so it's portable. 2, you've got the visual upgrade that was brought about with the Super Mario All-Stars release back on the Super Nintendo, ported over. And 3, honestly, other people might find it annoying, but I think it's pretty fun to hear Mario give his little quips that he does, because they have like the dialogue.
Woohoo!
Yeah, it's great. But yeah, Super Mario Advance 4, Super Mario Brothers 3. I mean, it's Super Mario Brothers 3. It's my favorite platformer of all time. It's unlike like Jack and my like genres, our top 3 is like in reverse. It's funny. But yeah, my favorite platformer, my favorite Mario game. It's got tons and tons of levels. It's got, you know, all of your Mario staple stuff. The power-ups that you have access to are really great. I love the different worlds that you can go through. I like the the way that they do all the world maps so that you can choose certain levels to skip or play through, plus having items that can do stuff like skip through entire levels if you want to. Just a really well designed level with all of the ideas that they threw together in mind. And I mean, there's a level where you get to be in a Goomba shoe. Like that's it. That's all you need. Just one level where you do that. But
It's true. It literally only appears in the one level too.
It really does. Yeah, I mean, it's no surprise. I did a stream a little while back for this game. It's just a delightful game with solid platforming, and everything about it I just love. It's just, and like I said, the Game Boy Advance version is the best version. Also, it has that Mario Brothers arcade remake thing in it, and that's also a really good side thing to play too.
True.
So, there you go.
Hi, I'm Landon. My number 3 is Pokemon Soul Silver version for the Nintendo DS.
Yay!
Hi,
Yay.
Pokemon Soul Silver is a video game that features such iconic characters like Lugia and Shuckle.
That's it. Okay.
Lugia and Shuckle.
There you
All
go.
you
That's
need.
all you need. Also, my number 3 is Pokemon Silver version for the Game Boy family system of Game Boys.
Hey, wait a
Whoa.
minute.
I did it. I said both of them. I don't care. Shut up.
What?
I like both of them for different reasons, but I actually put Soul Silver in my thingy, so that's the thing. But they were actually right next to each other when I did the sorter. It was literally Soul Silver and then Silver version. So, yeah. Just roll them into one. That's it. I'm not going to talk about it. Move on.
Number 2s.
Speaking of the number 2, I have to take one. Haha, just kidding. I don't have to take a poop right now.
But he's going to show us a 2.
I'm going to show you my number 2, which is Super Mario Galaxy 2. It's I was gonna do like a thing where like I just kind of like dropped it, but I didn't want to make like a huge noise on the feedback.
Which
so.
you should have done was just open to the case, and the disc for Super Mario Galaxy 2 was inside.
Oh, that would have
been a good idea.
All right, now
actually.
run it back. We'll just cut it out.
Super Mario Galaxy 2. I didn't forget. I did this with Super Mario Galaxy 1 because this is like I see these two games as just about equals. If you forced me to choose between the two of them, which I am doing, I would pick the second one. I think overall level design wise it is stronger. It has better power-ups. You have Yoshi. Look at that. It's fucking Yoshi in this video game. He's on the cover even. I mean, I could really pick either of them. Like, maybe on a different day I would pick the first one. But, like, I think overall, the second game is stronger. I kind of like how, I don't want to say streamlined, but like getting from level to level is a bit easier. There is less of a hub world to explore, which is a downgrade from this one, but Galaxy 2 is just a fucking joy to play. There's never a moment when I'm playing this game and I'm not like, I don't have a big dumb grin on my face, which was what it was like when I did my Let's Play of Mario Galaxy 1 for the channel as well. But like, this game is just so fun and so well designed and has fantastic music. Like, this is peak, like as a fan of 3D platformers, this is like peak 3D platformer in my opinion. And that's all I really gotta say.
And there's no re-release on the Switch, unfortunately.
I fucking wish, Al. I really do. Galaxy 2 for Switch soon, please.
My number 2 is Landon's least favorite game of all time, Whenever he takes a shit, he wipes his ass with a copy of this game. Whenever he eats and he wants to eat on the opposite of fine china, he eats on a copy of this game. Whenever Landon wants to just throw a frisbee around and just kind of have a nice day outside, he's throwing copies of this game, probably into the nearest like wall to break it into a million pieces.
Is it 3 frisbees?
It is 3 frisbees actually, so it gives him 3 times the enjoyment. It's Final Fantasy VII.
Yay!
Final Fantasy VII Remake Rebirth, yay!
No, just the original. Final Fantasy VII for the PS1, and then later released on Steam and PS4 and Switch and Xbox. The original Final Fantasy VII is still one of my favorite games. Still my favorite turn-based RPG ever. The graphics... Jack, do you want to say the line? The graphics.
Haven't aged the best.
Yay! We got him to say it once every podcast. Got to do it. But yeah, no, the outside of the graphics not aging very well though. I mean, everything else still holds up. I still like the story, it being like originally basically like supposed eco-terrorists are actually trying to stand up to corrupt political organization or corrupt government organization that like is basically like a government that's also a business and trying to fight back against them. And then it turns out that you're also trying to fight against this psychotic man that thinks he's the descendant of a space god. And that's the gist of Final Fantasy VII. Yep.
It's so weird that you would talk about the Bible game like that.
I know, right?
The classic Bible game
The
for
Bible
PS2.
game.
Fight Jesus Christ.
Exactly. But yeah, I mean, I've talked enough about Final Fantasy VII, so I mean, I'm not even going to bother saying anything else. Is the Bible game your number 2, Landon?
Oh boy, howdy, you know that it sure is a video game. And that's that.
Yeah.
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 The Bible game is definitely a
all right.
video game. No, in fact, my number 2 is also a number 2 in this broken segment of 2s. That's right. It's another long one. Oh boy.
Do it.
You got this,
You got
Landon.
this.
I believe in you.
Yeah, you can say it.
Why? Why would I do this to myself?
Landon, it's one of your favorite video game franchises. You can do it.
Alright. My number 2 is The Legend of Heroes Trails of Cold Steel 2 for the PlayStation family of video Nintendo Switch.
Good job. Good. You nailed it.
I did
Good
it.
job.
Good job,
It
Landon.
features such iconic characters like Reen Schwarzer,
Kranich the Hedgehog.
Hedgehog, and Olivier.
Hell
There's-
yeah.
and-
Is he in this one?
Yeah, he's in this one.
Oh, hell yeah.
And
No wonder.
Sarah Valentine. Shoutouts to Sarah Valentine, one of my favorite Trails characters. Also, shout out to Olivier, one of my favorite Trails characters. What more could I talk about this video game than some of the iconic characters like Reen Schwarzer? Well,
I mean, tell us about the gameplay and the plot and the cool stuff that you like.
Cloud, have you ever experienced the American Civil War?
Boy, howdy. I was right there on the front lines, and yeah.
Well, if you ever wanted to experience it again, but not in America, but
That's what this is.
Cold Steel has a Civil War plot. It's
Okay.
the country of
That's
Erebonia is split between the noble faction and the reformists that don't care for nobles or something. I don't know. And class.
I do remember that being something they were like building up in the first game.
Yeah, no, they like continue that because this game takes place basically a month after the end of the first game. Things happen at the end of Cold Steel 1.
Okay.
And Reen goes, and then a month passes, and then he goes, oh no, all of my equipment from the first game and all those levels.
It's gone.
Well, not all the levels, but most of his equipment's gone. And then he runs around trying to find his friends while this civil war has broken out. And he has to catch a ride and ask the prince for lots of money to give him a plane so he can fly around the battlefield and help people. And you can fish and cook. Oh, yeah, that's true. Al mentions that there's a book for fishing and cooking, and completing that stuff is pretty hard. Yeah, I mean the gameplay, it's an RPG where it's the turn-based kind where you select commands for your people when it's their turn, but you can see other people's turns and you can affect the turn order. It's a lot of fun. This game specifically gives you the ability to go into overdrive, and then you get 3 moves as 2 characters when they are all synced up and ready to go. It is fun.
Okay.
And, most importantly, it might be the best game on our lists that feature snowboarding.
I mean, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, so take that.
The snowboarding in Final Fantasy VII sucks. I'm not defending it.
Yeah. Cold Steel 2 at least has passable snowboarding.
What is your bar for passable?
Playable.
Out of curiosity. Well, shit. Because the snowboarding in my next game is literally not
Well,
playable.
you better tell us about it then.
Boy, howdy.
Time for the number one.
I sure will. It's time for number
one.
ones.
It's not a surprise to anyone what any of ours are, but we're gonna do it for the posterity.
Hey, guess what? My number one is Sonic the Hedgehog 3 and Knuckles.
Yay.
You're a fake fan. You
Yay.
didn't bring a cartridge copy of Sonic 3
Okay.
and Sonic and Knuckles on top of each other.
I will say I do not have Sonic 3 or Sonic and Knuckles cartridges because I don't own a Genesis. I do own the Sonic Classic Collection for the Nintendo DS, which is the last official release of any of the classic Sonic games to have Sonic 3 and Knuckles, like, as a playable combined experience, with all of the original music intact. And this came out 14 years ago, so...
You can
anyway,
see I'm a truer fan because I own cartridge copies of the Genesis for both Sonic 3 and Sonic and Knuckles.
Do you really?
I'll go get them. You talk about your silly 2 games that you have in a number 1 spot.
All right, yeah, whatever. I don't care. It's 2 games.
It's they consider it 1 game now. It's 1 game in Sonic Origins. You're fine, Jack.
It's
Is
2
it?
games
It's
because it's 2
in
cartridges.
in Sonic Origins, you don't get the option to split it. It is 1 game.
Well, there you go. There you fucking go. That is the experience
That they intended.
Shut the fuck up, Landon. Yeah, I mean, yeah, whatever. It's 2 games. Who cares? Sonic 3 and Sonic and Knuckles. Put them together. You have what is my favorite video game experience ever. You have the classic levels from Sonic 3. You got Angel Island. You got Hydro City. You got Mushroom Hill. You got fucking Carnival Night. We can skip Carnival Night. You got fucking Ice Cap with the snowboarding section that is not playable, but it's there. You do snowboard. It's like the first minute of Act 1, and you just don't control it. But it looks cool. You got Launch Base, and then Sonic 3 and Knuckles. Mushroom Hill. What did I say? I already said Mushroom Hill. Marble Garden is what I meant to say before, not Mushroom Hill. Excuse me. Flying Battery, Sandopolis, Lava Reef, Sky fucking Sanctuary. What a classic. What a classic game. Death Egg. You can play as Sonic by himself, or Sonic and Tails. You can play as Tails, you can play as Knuckles. And Knuckles, when you play as him, it is like a completely different, like the entire game is reworked to fit Knuckles' gameplay style. And it's really cool. And it's like and it takes place after Sonic 3. Like, the playing as Knuckles in Sonic 3 and Knuckles is like its own story that takes place after the events of Sonic 3 and Knuckles, which is cool. Gameplay, classic Sonic gameplay, really fun. Level design is phenomenal. Levels are really fun to either speed through or you can explore. There's a lot of different multiple paths that you can take. The music in every fucking level in this game is incredible. Again, except Carnival Night gets kind of grating after a while, but still, I think it's a phenomenal game. Combination of two games to create one game. But, yeah. It's my favorite game.
Are you ready, Jack?
Yeah.
There it is.
Oh, you
you
ruined it.
For the listeners, Landon just threw a freaking copy of Sonic 3D Blast on top of Sonic and Knuckles.
There it is.
That's cursed.
Sonic 3 and Sonic and Knuckles.
That's fucking cursed.
That is cursed.
There we go.
Yeah. My number one is a 2. It's Dark Brandon 2.
Oh, my favorite. My favorite PlayStation 2 Family of Systems classic.
The sequel to Joe Biden.
It's Dark Brandon 2.
But anyway, yeah, Dark Cloud 2 is my favorite video game. You can do like all the things in this game. You can rebuild destroyed settlements. You can dungeon crawl a bunch. You can fish. You can raise those fish to race against other fish. You can take pictures and invent things. You can pilot a robot. You can transform into a monster. You can... Did I mention you can fish? You can golf. This game has a lot of weird shit in it. But it's a great game. It's a very relaxed pace for the most part, even though the combat's like action-oriented. It's a lot more involved with like kind of moving around and dodging enemy attacks, blocking and timing your dropping guard to attack properly. There's a lot of just kind of a little bit of like strategy to it. There's a weapon system where you can you don't actually really get stronger. You build up weapons to get stronger, and those can branch out. Just a lot of weird moving parts that are all just really good. And if you get tired of doing the spelunking in dungeons and progressing the story, you can go fish and catch fish, and you can collect medals. Collecting medals is a lot of work. Landon, you know how you were talking about Legend of Heroes Trails of Cold Steel 2 and filling out all that stuff can be a lot of work?
No,
I
don't remember that.
Okay, well,
okay, now I remember that.
Okay, thanks. So yeah, it's kind of like that, where you have to do there's a lot of different tasks that you can do, and just I can find myself sinking just dozens of hours into this game. Just everything about this game is great. The reviews at the time said that this was like the PS2 Zelda, and it really does kind of feel like it sometimes. Not 100%, but kind of. It's so packed with content. The story is really great. The characters are great. The voiceover performance is also really good. Just I don't know, man. Over time, this game has aged better and better, and that's kind of why it took the top spot for me from Final Fantasy VII, because it did age very well. It did.
Hey folks, number ones, let's just get it over with. You know it. We love it. It's the game of all time. On all of the systems.
It's Captain Toad Treasure Track.
Yeah.
Thank you and good night.
Yeah.
All right. Bye, folks.
Yeah, that game that was in my honorable mentions makes number one slot too.
It's coming back around again.
It's so good, not only is it number one,
it's for the people of
it's
the
for
sun.
the people of the sun. At the number 23
Oh,
spot.
now you guys are taking rhymes.
Anyway, what?
Spitting bars.
Paper Mario for the Nintendo 64 family system of video game franchise consoles.
Bless you.
Gesundheit. Is such a good game. I love it. It has that character in it that everyone loves. And,
It's what?
yeah. And, it has Mario in it.
And most importantly, it's not the 1,000-Year Door.
Most importantly, it is the game that I remember finishing in my childhood. And that's that.
Nostalgia is a hell of a drug.
Yeah, man, I love it.
Gotta
Anyway.
love it.
Did you guys do anything? Or do we just want to talk about like other games that we might have thought about might be on the list?
So, yeah, just real quick, if there's like a game or a couple of games that you haven't really been able to play through to have a good chance to like say whether or not they should be on the list or not, are there any games that you are thinking about?
Tears of the Kingdom is a strong contender. I mean, like, obviously I wouldn't have included it regardless because
You didn't even put
I
Breath
had
of the
Wind-
Wild.
Yeah, I had the Wind Waker, and I limit it to one per franchise. But I think, like, with more time and experience in the game, that Tears of the Kingdom could overtake Breath of the Wild on my favorite Zelda's list, which would put it, like, pretty close to, like, my top of all time. The Great Ace Attorney Chronicles, which is not a similar example. I have beaten those games, of course. Go watch the Great Ace Attorney VODs. But, like, I feel like with time, those could, like, climb in the ranks and become, like, some of my favorite. Like, I could see them getting, like, up to top 20 at some point.
You need to do a replay.
I would want to replay them. I would want to replay them and, like, re-experience the games again to see, like, how I still feel about them after, like, the initial, like, because we played the first two games, like, when they were pretty fresh. So, I'll go back to them one day and decide. That's about all I got, though.
Okay. Yeah, Tears of the Kingdom is probably a strong contender if I put in the hours. I think, it has the potential to surpass Breath of the Wild, so it'd probably just end up taking that spot. I haven't played far enough in. I had started and I got a little bit of a way in, but Xenosaga 3 might be a game that could end up on here in the future. I don't know. I like it so far quite a lot. I just haven't played enough of it. And I don't know. I'd have to play through it more and then play the sequel. But like I'd also been thinking about Earthbound a lot and maybe like playing Mother 3, so who knows with that. That's probably like the 3. Where was Mother 3 on yours anywhere?
Mine?
Yeah.
Not that high.
Okay.
It was in my top 100, but it didn't quite rank that high enough.
I was gonna say I'm kind of I was kind of surprised. Like I started.
There's a
thinking
lot.
about
Listen,
it, and I was like,
there's a lot of fucking video games here. There's a lot of competition.
Come on, Jack, give us Mother 3.
One day, I will stream that one day.
But yeah, those are like the 3 I'm thinking about. Particularly the first 2 I mentioned.
The stuff that came to mind was possibly a Professor Layton game, just because I haven't played all of the series yet. I played the first 2 games that are really fun, and then I played Phoenix Wright versus Ace Attorney. Phoenix Wright versus Ace Attorney. Professor Layton versus Phoenix Wright, Ace Attorney. And those are good, but I haven't played the rest of like the Professor Layton game specifically. And I hear the third one is fantastic.
It's pretty fucking swag.
I'm also working through like the older Dragon Quest games, and I haven't played a lot of those all the way to completion. So we'll see. Maybe one of those will take over the Dragon Quest 11 slot at some point. And then what was the third thing that came to mind? Oh, Possibly a different Trails, Legend of Heroes Trails game, just because there's so many of those, and there's a couple in the backlog that I haven't played. I'm playing Azure still right now, and I still have Trails in the Sky the Third, and then Reverie, and then Trails Through Daybreak is coming out in the US later this year, and Daybreak 2 is on the horizon. They're working on another game, so possibly one of those could take over Cold Steel 2 at some point, but who knows,
Okay. Do we want to do a quick catch up to talk about what we've been up to the past couple of weeks? We have gone on this podcast quite a long time.
I honestly don't have anything to talk about.
Yeah.
Myself.
I don't really have a whole lot either. Like, I uploaded a new video on my solo channel over on Azure Flute. So that's cool. Other than that, I've been up to the same stuff. I fixed my PSP.
Oh.
That's the only other thing I have that's worth noting.
I just remembered a game that's actually on my radar. I have not put anywhere near enough time into it. I'm still working on it. Dragon Ball Z Dokkan Battle. One of these years.
Excellent.
One of these years,
Excellent.
I'll decide if it's...
One year you'll decide you'll have enough gameplay.
Yeah.
You'll have enough time spent in that game to really say for sure
I've
if it's
only
in your
logged
top 100.
in consecutively the last 830 days, but one of these days.
Nah, plot twist.
Oh, man.
Plot twist is it's going to be one of those situations where it's like those guys that like review a game on Steam and they don't recommend it, but then they've spent like 25,000 hours in the game. Like, Landon's going to like decide at the end. He's going to be like, all right, I've spent like 10 years on this game. This game fucking sucks. I hate it.
We're almost there.
Almost there.
Jack, have you been up to anything recently?
I went to 3 shows in the past 2 weeks.
Wow.
Don't fucking, like, okay, you complain so much every time I say, like, yeah, I haven't really been up to much. And then when I say, like, yeah, I did a couple of things in the last 2 weeks, you're like, wow, you do stuff.
What do you do? Stimulate the economy?
I don't know. I just like seeing live music. I think it's pretty rad. Yeah, I saw Sandwich Sugabog with Jesus Piece and Peeling Flesh and Gag in Columbus. 2 days after that, I saw Jeff Rosenstock in Detroit. And then just 2 days ago, I saw Always in Indy. So I've been around lately.
Okay.
Yeah, my birthday's coming up, and so is Landon's.
Both of you guys' birthdays is coming up. Unfortunately, I won't be able to get you anything right away because I just helped my girlfriend pay for a ticket her mom got. So,
no worries.
The only real thing that I've been doing is I started reading Nezuko, and I've been having fun with that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
Al wants to know if there's going to be a birthday stream for you guys.
We are going to be playing Apollo Justice.
We are playing. Yeah. I don't think we're doing anything too special this week.
Apollo Justice is always special. Give it some credit.
True.
Yeah. You know what we will play instead?
What?
Sonic 3D
God.
Blast and Knuckles.
I mean, I think we should do a birthday stream, but it probably won't be this week. It might be next week.
Yeah, we just we got to get through Apollo. Come on, man.
Yeah,
Landon can play Sandland.
We still have a lot of Apollo to get through.
So yeah.
So look forward to that. Yeah.
This has been a really long stream, and Landon's got a lot of editing to cut this down. And I'm sleepy, and I actually have work in the morning because this is being done a day early. So, yeah, we're just going to sign off. Let's roll the outro. Thank you all for tuning in, and we will, of course, see you in the future.
Let us know what your top 20 games are. Bye.
Bye.
Thank you for listening to the Gaming Stooges Talks podcast. If you enjoyed us, consider subscribing to our podcast RSS feed or follow us on youtube.com/gamingstooges and twitch.tv/gamingstooges for more gaming content. If If you'd like to chat with us, join our Discord. The link can be found in the episode description. We also want to thank all of our Patreon supporters. Your continued support means a lot to us. Not already one? Please take a look at what we have to offer anyone who becomes a patron at patreon.com/GamingStooges. See you next time!